social hypothermia. Tap into my sinuses, chemical disturbia. Utopian society, not a place you wanna be. Freedom from the enemy, emotional identity. This is the new age, we're in the new age. If you take a look around, you'll see what I mean. True colors are showing me what you stand for in this world of hate. I guess this is the new age. Let's slide into obscurity. Let's break all the conspiracies. Take advantage of naivety. Do you believe what you see? Is what you're after, baby. This is the new age, we're in the new age. If you take a look around, you'll see what I mean. True colors are showing me what you stand for in this world of hate. I guess this is the new age. Everyone's frozen, social hypothermia. Tap into my sinuses, chemical disturbia. If you take a look around, you'll see what I mean. True colors are showing me what you stand for in this world of hate. I guess this is the new age. If you take a look around, you'll see what I mean. True colors are showing me what you stand for in this world of hate. I guess this is the new age.
So I'm thinking now's a better time than ever to say what's on my mind. Why should I wait another day? Think I found my drug in the form of pain, an addict to my own mistakes. I need something else. My noise in my head is getting louder. Your name on my breath is no longer burning it all. I'm burning it all. I'm getting high, watching you fall. I'm burning it all, burning it all. I'm getting high, watching you fall. Now I bet they see when I start to lean. I'll put myself in the front seat. I'll grab a hold and take control. When the skeletons in my closet space collect the dust and they just can't stay. I need something else. A new day, don't worry. Cut this open, that's alright. It's too late to sympathize. My noise in my head
24, 25.
Thought I was going through the storm, but I'm just going through the karma. It sort of feels like diving to the bottom, fighting through the silver lining. The writing's on the wall.
And on Monday nights, we race the truck. People love the truck. Welcome, everybody, to Verdane TV Showtime. Paul Strickland Jr. here with Rowdy Wesley Hogue and Ryan Stevens here in the booth, kicking off race number 1 for the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series, the Verdane Racing USA International 100. Got a couple of minutes lined up here left in warm-up. These guys are going to be jumping right into qualifying. A couple of heat races coming up here, and the feature event of the evening. Little 6-race series here that we got going on here with the Florida Pro Trucks, and really excited about it, Wes. You're kind of one of the guys that put this all together and brought it over here to Verdane TV. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Thank you, Paul, and I am just as excited as you are, man. I got to give a great shout out to Sunshine State Racing. They helped me put this together as well. Everybody over there, they said, hey, we got some truck series drivers that like to show off their skills and talents here on the iRacing service, and we kind of collaborated and said, all right, let's do this. So shout out to Krista and everybody over there for helping us put this on for the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series here on iRacing. And you were right, we're going to have 6 weeks. We're going to go through 3 different tracks. The first being USA International Speedway, the old track down in Lakeland, Florida that unfortunately is shut down. Then we're going to go up to New Smyrna Speedway up in New Smyrna Beach, Florida. And then we're going to go back down to Five Flags Speedway. That will be the 3 tracks that we cover in these 6 weeks. Next to me, though, is the voice of New Smyrna Speedway, Ryan Stevens. Ryan, you ready to call some Truck Series action tonight?
Absolutely. I'm very excited and very excited to be at a different track here tonight. The USA International Speedway was a great facility back in the day, so it's cool to see it here in the iRacing game, and great to see these Florida Pro Truck drivers getting ready to go. Of course, the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series, one of the best touring series in the state of Florida right now, and I had the pleasure of calling their first race of the season back in February at the New Smyrna Speedway, which was won by Brendan Pletcher back during Speed Weeks. So I know things are a bit crazy right now with this whole COVID crisis, but they've come together in full force here for their esports series here. The 6-race series is going to be a lot of fun.
Ryan, I'm excited, and I was brought up the name of Gregory Cecil. Are you familiar with that name?
I know a Colt Cecil.
Well, Gregory Cecil is the father of Colt Cecil, and he raced at New Smyrna Speedway 25 years ago. So he is making his iRacing debut. He's only been on the server for about a week or so, but Gregory used to run a red, white, and blue number 19 late model at New Smyrna Speedway. So that's going to be fun to see. A kind of a throwback, one of the drivers that used to circle the short tracks in Florida back in the day out here on the iRacing service.
Yeah, it's going to be real great to see this incredible mix of drivers, really. You have actual Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series drivers. You have some drivers from around the state of Florida, as some of these names are clicking across here. So, and then we have these guys, if you will, coming out of retirement to join us for tonight's race. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And, Wes, we got a lot of trucks here tonight, so we're going to have to qualify the field down in a couple of ways. We're having qualifying right now. We'll lock in the top 10 fastest trucks. And then we're going to have some heat races and some consolation races to set the field. I believe we're going to start 24, 25 trucks here tonight. So those heats, this qualifying session, all going to be very, very important.
As they are, and for those that watch the New Smyrna Speedway series, they're used to that format as we move on our top 10. We usually invert the top 5, but Ryan, doing something a little different for these boys, because I found the New Smyrna Speedway series, they've learned to kind of manipulate that and sandbag. So,
yeah, that's what good racers do.
Of course. So what we're doing here is we will have an invert, but it's completely mysterious within the top 10. So the invert might only be top 5. It might be the top 3, or we might invert the entire top 10 one of these weeks. But this week, Ryan, we are inverting the top 6. The top 6 drivers will be inverting here tonight.
Great. So now all the drivers' girlfriends that are watching can radio to their drivers and tell them exactly where to qualify. No, I'm just kidding. But that will keep things spiced up a little bit during this qualifying session. And, we've seen with the New Smyrna series, as you mentioned, qualifying very important because those who seem to start up front seem to lead the laps. So this qualifying session going to be important. That invert's going to throw them the curveball, but then those who don't qualify in the top 10, they're going to have to race their way in here tonight. We've seen a lot of heartbreaks in those heats and consolation races. Tyler Sontag, who's in the field tonight, he has struggled to make the races at New Smyrna. He's had all kinds of trouble, so who knows what we're in for here tonight. We'll try to follow along with all these drivers, see where they end up, see who's going to race their way in and who's going to have to load up and go home early.
You're absolutely right, Ryan. And they only got 3 minutes to qualify. So some of these drivers that decided not to turn a qualifying lap, you only got 3 minutes to do it. So there are a few drivers that didn't get in to qualify. And that is what it is. Some of these guys feel a little bit more comfortable starting in the back of a heat that might not have gotten the laps in that they wish they would have in practice. So Ryan, we're to get rocking and rolling here. The way it looks, if everything goes right, we're going to have 3 heats tonight and 2 consies. So we have a big field.
Going to be action-packed, and I believe, if I saw that correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but it looked like Michael Goddard set fast time in the qualifying session, and that means he'll lock himself in. And we'll recap the top 10 that locked themselves into the main event here later, but we're getting ready for our first of 3 scheduled heat races tonight. Wes, we're taking the top 3, correct?
We are taking the top 3. So, starting pole on our first heat will be the 41 of Jeff White. Starting second will be the 5 of Jason Miller. Starting third will be a Blake Clouser in the number 22. Daryl Calder in the 26 will be starting 4th. Starting 5th it's scheduled to be Chris Naramore Jr. Starting 6th, Carlin Ray in the 72. Starting 7th, Dylan Canova in the 70. Starting 8th will be Jeffrey Gabalt, and then rounding out the field is supposed to be, these are the scheduled starting lineups of Hayden Vaughn in the 30 as we begin to roll off.
So Jeffrey White there in that 41, he is an actual Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series regular and a veteran of Florida racing. He's driven some Pro Late models, and back in the day, now he's focusing on the Pro Truck Challenge Series. So he's looking good here up the front, but this Blake Clouser in the 22, the team truck right behind Jeffrey, if you will, he's been real strong in these races that we've had on Verdane TV that he's participated in. So look for the 22 to make some noise here. I'd also watch the 92 of Jeffrey Gabalt there at the back of the field, West. We've seen some good things out of him as well.
As we have, Ryan, and I'm going to try to find the best camera view here as the cameras are kind of weird here at USA International. It's kind of, for us here on the side, the TV3 that we typically use is so far away. It's hard to keep up with the battles, but we're going to do our best to call the action for you. If you're watching on Verdane TV on Facebook, thank you so much. Feel free to hit that follow button. Same thing with YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. And of course, this is always brought to you by AWS Roofing Services, top roofing company in Florida and the Southeast. Go like them on Facebook as well. And Ryan, we're about to go green.
Yes, we are. First of 3 heat races. Only the top 3 are going to lock themselves in to the main event. Everybody else will have to focus on the consolation races a little bit later. Pace truck is off field in the hands of the 41 of Jeffrey White. And now we are underway. Green flag is out here for the first time tonight. Jeffrey White in the 41 truck. He's going to get the advantage down there into turn number 1, West.
As he is, the battle now is going to be for second. The 22 of Blake Clouser working the bottom. The outside is Jason Miller in the 5. As they battle through, Clouser's able to clear 5, stuck on the outside. Now he's opened up the door to the 26 machine of Daryl Calder, and behind him now is Dylan Canova in the 70.
Well, Canova in the 70 got a great run off turn number 4 and still riding that momentum here down the back straightaway. The inside lane looks like the place to be here at USA, at least early on. This track will change throughout the night. We got the 3 truck popping into the mix now as well. Good, even, clean start here for these guys, which is a good thing to see.
That 3 of Chris Naramore Jr. in the throwback Dale Earnhardt ride. So always love seeing that paint scheme out here. As now here comes Dylan Canova up to the 2nd position, passing the young driver Blake Clouser, who gets a little loose coming off of 4, checking up the Darrell Calder machine in the 26. Looking sideways.
Hang on to it. No, he's going to loop it right ahead of Naramore, the Mod Mini driver in real life. The 26 of Darrell Callender has gone around here, Wes, and looks like for the moment we're still green.
We are, as these are admin-controlled cautions, meaning the caution's going to come out at the admin's discretion. If you spin out all on your own, it's your job to get that thing back up and going. And but that's what that consi's for, Ryan. You got a chance to come back and take another shot at it.
Yep, if you have a tough go of things here in this heat, you can regroup a little bit later on, have another shot at it. But looking good right now to lock himself into the field. Already 10 drivers locked in after qualifying, but now Jeffrey White in the 41 trying to lock himself in. Again, the top 3 going to make it, but he's going to have company. Here comes that 70 truck. Canova is coming strong. Looks like one of the fastest trucks out on the...
Ryan, we had a little practice race last night. Canova did a heck of a job in it, dominating most of it, as we just saw Jeff White in the 41 actually rub up against the wall there.
Wall. And now we got a battle side by side for the race lead here, Wes, with laps.
And Jeff White, it's crazy. He actually had a lot of issues last night. He wasn't able to get around this track that quick. He was about a second off. So the fact that Jeff White has led, half of this race, that's pretty impressive. I give him a lot of credit. But Dylan Canova already up front now on lap 8 out of 12. Your final transfer position so far currently is, though, Blake Clouser in that 22. He's sitting P3. Not too far behind him is Jason Miller in the 5.
Yeah, Blake Clouser, the 22, hanging on to the final spot. He's got a couple of truck links between himself and the 4th place car of truck of Miller. Sorry, I'll put a penny in the bucket every time I say car here tonight. But top 3 looking solid, West, with 4 to go around this big 3/4-mile oval here at USA International Speed. One of the bigger tracks are going to run it. It looks like somebody's had a bit of problems. There's some black smoke here on the front.
Yeah, Carlin Ray in the 72. Not exactly sure what happened, but Carlin is putting around the track here, smoking her on up. Not exactly know what happened with the 72, but motor is he's trying to limp it to the finish here.
There's some damage on that truck here, Wes, and it looks like he may have gotten the fence a little bit. So he's putzing along, just trying to keep on the track, but a tough go of it here in this heat.
Luckily, this is a 3/4-mile track, so it's going to be a minute before these drivers get up to him, meaning the leaders of Dylan Canova. But Dylan isn't too far from him, but this time around, white flag for Dylan Canova. Jeff White still in the 2nd position. 3rd place, though, Blake Clouser in the 22. He's under fire for that last transfer position of Jason Miller in the 5.
Remember, only the top 3 going to make it into the show tonight, and that's the battle between the 22 and the 5 for the final spot as Dylan Canova rounds turn number 4. Canova is going to take the win here in heat number 1. Jeff White going to make it in. Battle for the final spot. Miller has gotten around Blake Clouser, it looks like. Yeah, I could be wrong there.
Yeah, you are absolutely right there, Ryan.
He did right at the line there, Wes.
He did, coming through 3 and 4, Ryan. He went low. Blake blocked him pretty hard. He had to get in the apron. A little bit of a body slam, but a block by Blake Clouser kind of caused him to have to go onto the apron. But nonetheless, Jason Miller moves on as we move on to heat number 2.
Well, that proves you got to do what you got to do. Only the top 3 moving on. That's going to put a contender, I would think, into the consolation rounds here tonight, Blake Clouser. So we'll have to keep our eye on Blake here throughout the evening. But Wes, heat number 2 has lined up for their 12-lap race. Bring us the starting lineup if you can.
Yep, number 21 of Dylan Martin will be starting pole, and outside of him will be Billy Bigley Jr. starting 2nd. Brighton Horner in the 8 will be starting 3rd, with Brandon Martin starting 4th on the outside in the 53 machine. Tyler Sontag, our local photographer, starting 5th in the 91. Clint Holmes starting 6th in the 33. Everybody's favorite Jason Lester in the 7 will be starting 7th, and then Chris Fratiani will be starting, should be starting 8th, but I don't think he gridded. And actually, just a little bit of an update in the booth here. It is not Blake out there in that truck. It is actually Rich Klauser. Rich Klauser has climbed into that truck, Ryan.
Well, all right, Rich Klauser, one of the regulars from last season, is taking the wheel from his son here tonight. How about that? So, hey, things change to the minute here on G'day TV. So glad to see Rich Klauser, the late model, just the Florida racing veteran, all around good guy out there. So we'll see Rich in the B feature a little bit later on.
Sometimes the dads like to hop in, sometime Mike Sukup likes to hop in for his son, and we don't get the word right away. So,
well, hey, we never know if it's Tanner Thomas or Patrick Thomas over on the New Smyrna side.
It could even be Christie at this point.
Yeah, we never know. All right, well, the pace truck is off. Heat number 2 getting ready to go. Again, the top 3 and only 3 going to qualifying. Some good drivers in this race. Nice to see Bill. Oh, Tyler Sontag having some trouble there on the start in the 91. That white truck there got a little out of shape. It was nice to see.
Horner missed the start there, Ryan. Brighton Horner just didn't go and checked him up, and that's now going to open up the door for Tyler through 3 and 4, but not able to do anything with it.
Wes, I think Tyler's going to be one to watch here tonight. He's going to want to make these races. He's had a tough go of things in the New Smyrna World Series of esports. He hasn't qualified for the first 2 races. Would love to get in and at least have a good shot at the championship with the trucks, but always good to see Tyler out here nonetheless. So again, 12 laps of distance in this one, top 3 and only 3 to qualify. And it looks like it's Martin out there with the lead right now.
And with Horner all over Martin in that 3rd position. And there goes Tyler Sontag.
Sontag's around. We got another one around. Clint Holmes is, and Tyler Sontag noses into the inside wall. We'll have to see if that's going to bring out a caution as Sontag goes straight to pit road. Clint Holmes also down there in the infield, and that is going to bring out the caution flag.
It is 2 trucks wrecking there. That was not pretty. Paul's going to get us a replay, see what happened to Tyler Sontag, as well as the other driver that wrecked there. I believe it was Clint Holmes in the number 33 went around. So Paul's going to get us a quick replay and get an idea of what happened in each one. It looks like Clint Holmes in the 33 just kind of self-spun, but let's see what happened to the 91 of Tyler Sontag. I think that's going to be the more interesting thing as he got together with Jason Lester, and it's probably not the one you want to get into it with.
Yeah, most definitely, Wes. Going to take a quick look here at the AWS Roofing Instant Replay. The first one of the night, I was almost starting to worry. Wasn't gonna be able to get one of these in, but we'll take a look at the 91 here. Tyler Sontag, you can see seems to just kind of drift up the track. Doesn't even look like there was too much contact there from the 7. I'm sure it felt a little bit different from the inside of the 91 cockpit, but looks like just took the air off the back of that truck and sent him on around into the outside wall and then eventually down onto pit road. So tough break for Sontag, but hey, you know what? That's what last chance qualifying races are for.
You're right, and especially a guy like Jason Lester, who honestly he's one of the bigger personalities out here, you could say, but he's a fast driver. He's a clean driver. He does a great job here on the sim for the most part. He does his best, and he's one of those drivers that he will say what's on his mind, but he's going to race you how you race him, and he's probably going to flip your pit box if he doesn't agree with you,
or if you don't agree with him.
Yes, or punch you in your face while you're still sitting in your truck, but I digress.
We've seen it all with him, haven't we?
We have. He's the only driver that I know that has been banned from more tracks than I've been banned from McDonald's, and that's saying a lot.
And there's a lot of McDonald's, too. McDonald's, if you'd like to jump on board with us, we have great sponsorship packages available to you. Just F1.
Oh, that'd be awesome. You could pay us in McDoubles.
I'd take one.
And again, this is brought to you by AWS Roofing, as Russell Bonanza is on here saying hello. He is our title sponsor for the New Smyrna Speedway Series, which is Edwater Screens. He's the title sponsor there. And the supporting sponsor for Vidane TV, we got AWS Roofing jumped on board with us this past week. They've become a supporting sponsor of Vidane TV. So a little bit about AWS Roofing. They've been in business for over 30 years, been ranked the top roofing company in Florida multiple times, and they don't only service Florida. They'll leave the state if need be for you. So if you got a little roof damage from hurricane damage, you just got an old house, or just need some shingles replaced, AWS Roofing has you covered. Check them out on Facebook, AWS Roofing.
Great to have all these sponsors on board, and big shout out to Russell, one of our good buddies over at the New Smyrna Speedway, big supporter of the James Adams racing team. And we're looking forward to getting racing going back at New Smyrna. A couple tracks fired up last weekend, and New Smyrna getting closer. If I hear things correctly, sounds like we have an open practice coming up here soon, and then just maybe getting back to racing within the next couple weeks or so. And just make sure you log on to Sunshine State Racing on Facebook. Follow along there. They'll update you with everything going on. So if you are local here in the state of Florida, you'll know exactly where to go to catch some racing action here during this COVID-19 crisis. But in the meantime, we've got you covered on your pretty much every day here on Vidane TV, Wes. You guys have a lot of things going on, a lot of great series. So if you like this iRacing stuff, Vidane TV is, they've got everything you need. So make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff, follow them on Facebook. Wes, we're getting ready to go back to green here in heat number 2. And Dylan Martin in the 21, he gets to jump on Bigley to resume the lead. We got a couple of Martins in this race, one running first, one running third. Brandon Martin back there in the 53. He's one of the regulars on this series. So that battle going to be for third. Remember, Wes, just the top 3 making in. Brayton Horner about used the chrome horn there on the back of Martin.
This time around, 2 to go. Popsicle sticks are out for our leader, Dylan Martin. Second place is Bigley Jr. Third is Brandon Martin, who's under fire here from Horner, and Horner's under fire now. And now the 33 has spun out further back in the pack, but he's trying to get it back righted. Oh boy, he might want to hurry up because the leaders are coming. He's up against the wall. Oh, got one around. Oh, Horton goes around.
Oh, we got a big one there in the front straightaway, Wes.
He got it back going, though. He got it back going. Boy, oh boy. And now, with on the last lap, can the 53 hold off Jason Lester? And Lester comes off the corner, not able to get that position. Jason Lester will have to move on to the LCQ. Not exactly happened with Horner. We know Horner was in front of the number 7 of Jason Lester when that happened, and just taking a yep. But honestly, that wasn't as bad as I expected it to be.
Yeah, it looks like it just come up off the corner. The back end's light, little tap there from Lester, who's racing hard for a transfer spot, trying to get up to a transfer spot, and around he went. But looks like Dylan Martin was our winner, and then second was Bigley, and third to Brandon Martin. Those will be the 3 that qualify in from heat race number 2.
All right, and we're getting ready to grid here for the heat race number 3, and it's going to be led by Chase King in the 24. Philip Ellis in the 29 will be lining up outside. Ryan Foltz in the 01 and will be starting third. Fourth will be Kyle Case in the 31. Gregory Cecil, the name to watch, will be in the 27, starting 5th place. Cody Brinson starting 6th in the 98. And then TJ Chambers will be rounding out the field for us here tonight in the 35. So, the IK9 machine. So, shout out to everybody watching on the social media platform. Shout out to Kyle Young watching here for us. He is our admin on Wednesday nights, and he's become kind of an interim resident here at Vidane TV, practicing some announcing skills as well as his admin skills on Wednesday nights, but mainly his announcing skills. Mainly because he's going to be announcing once New York State opens back up. He's got his hometown he's going to be announcing at, so I know he's excited for that. So shout out to him, as well as, of course, Russell Bonanza, Tim Walters, everybody that is watching. Thank you for this. Make sure you hit that follow button if you haven't.
Yeah, make sure you guys comment. If you're watching along tonight, we'll try to give you guys some shout-outs throughout the night. I know Wes has got his eyes on all the social media platforms, and Wes will have to ask the fans what they think when we get to the main event about who's going to win the inaugural Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series E-Race here tonight. So, but first we got to figure out who's even going to make the feature. Only the top 3 once again going to qualify. And we talked about Gregory Cecil. earlier in the broadcast, and now we're going to see if he can race his way into the race.
Looks like he's having a little bit of a connection issue here. Hopefully he's able to get that straightened out before we go green. And we are green flag racing here. Back, oh, and Cecil gets sideways on the start.
Cecil was ready to go, but didn't have the grip, and he backs it into the inside wall as he slides across the victory lane here. And that is going to bring out the caution.
Yep, admin said, you know, that was a pretty ugly start. We got some trucks already sideways. It broke it up on as soon as we went yellow, or as soon as we went green, the yellow came out. So, yep, and I think that was a good caution to call there. Make sure everybody, you know, everybody's got their stuff together on them. Let Gregory Cecil get back up and rolling. And tonight, these guys have one reset. Each race, they have one reset. And if you're not familiar with what a reset is, it's one time you get to go down pit road, make a pit stop, and get practically a brand new ride, a brand new truck. So, but you want to use that wisely. If you only have a little bit of damage, because you have the option of taking it or not, but if you have just a little bit of damage, you can go ahead and not choose that and use it at a later date or a later time in the race. But in the position that the Gregory Cecil machine is in, I might want to take it.
Yeah, Wes, we took a look at Gregory Cecil's replay there, and just like you said, right off the start, just kind of spun the tires, spun the car around, and bounced off the, I believe it was a 98 truck. No damage on the 98 truck, but you can definitely see the back end is pretty tore up. A lot of scuff marks and some dented in sheet metal up in the front of that truck as well. Getting a good look at it right here from the Verdane TV camera angles there. So it's going to be a tough break. He's got probably going to end up having 7 or 8 laps left in this heat race once we get back to green, so we'll see what we can do.
And shout out to Dom Mahar watching from Nova Scotia. I believe he races with us in some of our leagues with Tim's Corner, doesn't he, Paul?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
Called many races with him in it.
Very nice. Well, thank you for watching, Mr. Donald. We appreciate it all the way from Nova Scotia. Ryan, you got to tune in on weekends. I'm going to tell you what. We call some great racing, some short track racing from some Canadians up across the north of the border, and they put on a heck of a show on Fridays, Saturdays, and even Sundays. You got to tune in sometime.
Yeah, Friday night would actually be the night to tune in. We're going to be doing a Tim's Corner Motorsports special event at the just released North Wilkesboro Speedway. Very, very excited for that. Looking forward to that Friday night.
No, it's like I said earlier, you guys have racing going on pretty much every single day here on Verdane. So
what is this, night number 3 in a 10-row stretch there, Wes?
I don't doubt it. You guys see, if you follow along on their Facebook page, you guys have stuff going on every day, it seems. So all kinds of good stuff. It's amazing the diversity on here. You got short track racing, you got super speedway racing, you got guys from Canada, you got, I mean, won't be long until you have the Verdane Mexican series.
You know what? I think we have a couple drivers from Mexico in our Carter's iRacing series, or at least they may have been Spanish descent. A couple of those drivers. That's another cool one. They run 4 bangers on road courses, and they invert the entire field, and it is fun to watch.
That sounds like chaos.
It is a blast. So the pace truck has made its way off of pit road. We're going to try this one more time. Green flag is out, and we are back racing here at USA International Speedway. Chase King is your leader into 1, but battling on the outside there is Philip Allison. Oh, we got one around to 31 of Kyle Case, backs it into the wall.
Oh boy, big trouble there for that Toyota, the 31. Kyle Case gets it righted, and we stay green for now with the 31. A little bit of problems there. Another truck slow on the inside lane. So looks like the 01 truck there in trouble. So we're going to stay green. King is your leader. Ellis second. But look at the battle for third. Chambers in the 35 working his way up into the top 3. Cody Brinson, the truck on the outside looking in as he tries to get into that final transfer spot. Top 3 and only 3 advance. Now we're on board with the 98, Cody Brinson. So we get a look inside this driver trying to race his way. A little slip there for Chambers in the 35. Here comes Brinson with the momentum off the corner. Let's ride with him and see if he can get that final transfer spot.
Gives him a little bit of the bumper. That's a little bit of short track racing from Cody Brinson. But TJ,
there he goes. Chambers in the 35 gets the boot from Brinson. We'll have to see what the officials rule on that. That brings out the caution. The caution is out, West, and we're going to have a shootout to decide heat race number 3. It's not what King wanted to see, but this is gonna change things, I think, here, Wes.
All right.
It will, and the 98 just kind of pounded him through the corner there. It looked like he just kind of pushed him on through. I believe Paul's going to get us a replay. It stinks to see that. We know TJ was looking forward to this. He still has a consi, but it just looked like that the 98 of Brinson just kind of pushed him through and pushed him through and pushed him through until he finished him off. So it's short track racing to the point where you finish him off. You can't do that now.
Yeah, taking a look again here at the AWS Roofing Instant Replay, and yeah, the 98 Cody Brinson just kind of hit him with the old TC, the Teddy Christopher. Hit him once, hey, buddy, I'm here. Hit him twice, hey, you need to get out of the way. Third, oh, yeah, I'll take my spot now. Thank you. But, yeah, just sent him right on
that
around.
last view there, sorry to interrupt you there, from that last view, he gave him a couple of pops there in the rear end and kind of got the truck stepping out. And when he came off the corner, if you look here, he wasn't right on him. The 35 got sideways and come across the front nose. So he definitely hit him going into the corner, got him loose, and he just got him all out of shape coming off the corner. But if you let it go here, you'll see the 35. We're watching in slow motion. 35 is going to get big loose. Now, he definitely got to push into that corner, but you'll see him get big loose, start to lose the traction off the corner, and then come back across the nose, and that's when he went around.
Tough break, but that would have put Cody Brinson. Cody was definitely faster. If Cody would have just been a little bit more patient there, I think Cody could have been able to get around him cleanly, but unfortunately he gave him the bumper. They're a little bit more relaxed in this series compared to the new Smyrna series. You don't get an end of longest line on every caution. If it's a racing incident, which most of the time it is, nobody's going to get a penalty, but that was a little bit more blatant and could be avoided. So the Cody
there were definitely contact, that's for sure.
Yeah, that 98 machine will be going to the end of the longest line, and it'll be interesting to see if he can make his way up here with just a couple laps to go.
Wes, do you see who's in third now? Look who's in third, that final transfer spot.
Some people say there's no such thing as racing gods. All right, this guy hasn't been to New Smyrna Speedway or short track. It's been 25 years ago, and now he's running third. Only been on this server for a week. He wrecked the first lap. This will be interesting.
See, this is why if you have a little bit of trouble at the beginning, don't get frustrated and turn off your computer. Get back in the race and salvage something. We saw some crazy strategy last week at New Smyrna with the modifieds, and some of it worked, some of it backfired. We saw cars laying back trying to stay out of the messes. We saw people involved in a wreck that ended up winning the race. So you never know what's going to happen here with this, especially with these trucks, since it's kind of a new thing for all of us, including the drivers. So, all right, Wes, we're going to have a 2-lap shootout to finish heat number 2. Chase King, your leader, Ellis in second, Cecil in third, and that's all that matters right now is that top 3. Let's see what's going to happen. Watch Brinson come from the back of the pack as we go back to green flag racing in heat race number 3.
And Gregory Cecil struggling there on the restart, trying to get that truck up and rolling. He does lose that position to the 31 of Kyle Case. Kyle Case was involved in an incident earlier in this race. He's able to work his way back up into the top 3, does Kyle Case, and the white flag is out for Chase King. Philip Ellis second, third, Kyle Case into 1.
Now this is it, final lap, but this is a big speedway, so a lot can happen. Watch Cecil, the black truck, try to get in there. He comes a little high off the corner. Now he's under fire from the 01. A little bit of insurance now for the 31. And it looks like Chase King is going to come off turn number 4 and take the win as Cecil fades back. And he's going to spin coming across the line, as is Cody Brinson. And a couple of trucks going to have some damage before they go into the B feature later. But Chase King going to win heat number 3.
All right, so we move on to what is known as the C main, which is half of the field that didn't move on through the qualifying races. And then we will have the B main, which is the other half. And we are taking the winner of this. So in order to move on, you got to win.
All right, so as Wes said, some call it the C main, some call it a consolation race, some call it B feature number 1. But call it what you will, the plain fact is you got to win the race to go to the main event. And we'll be watching some pretty good drivers, including Rich Clouser in the 22. Not Blake Clouser, as we said earlier. Rich Clouser's in this. Tyler Sontag is in this.
Hey, just a quick heads up. We got Jennifer Brinson on here. I'm not sure if she might be the mother of Cody Brinson, but she said, poor kid, he gets his patience from me.
Yeah, that is mom checking in, just so everybody knows. And Jennifer's a big contributor to Florida short track racing, so we appreciate her efforts. If you weren't able to make it to 417 Speedway, she was trying to keep everybody updated on what was going on with the sportsman race down there last week, so we appreciate all of her efforts.
And starting pole here will be Blake Clouser in that 22, or Rich Clouser, I'm sorry, in the 22. The elder Clouser there. He's going to smack me for calling him elder. Ryan Foltz will be in the 01 starting second. Third will be Brighton Horner starting in the third position, starting in that number 8. Chris Naramore Jr. in the 3 will be starting fourth. Fifth will be Gregory Cecil. We just saw him in action starting fifth. Sixth will be Tyler Sontag in the 91. Seventh, Carlin Ray. And then that will round out your field here for this final consolation race.
All right, so after this, we'll have our second consi, or the B main, or the Hooligan Race Junior, whatever you want to call it. One more chance to qualify, but Wes, we're going to have a lot of disappointed drivers after this one, and it could get very interesting. You know what I've liked so far about the racing? A little bit bigger track here. So the speeds are up, but there's a little bit more room, a little bit more space for these truckers to maneuver. So we've seen some pretty good racing so far, which bodes well for the main event. So let's see what's going to happen here, Wes. Consolation race number 1 is now green. Watch Rich Clouser, the 22, lost a spot in the main event on the final lap of the heat race. Going to try to not look back here. 20 laps the distance, so a long way to go. A lot's going to happen. Stay tuned.
Already a battle for the lead here as Horner looks low on Clouser. Clouser able to drive it in hard. That opens up the door for the 8 of Brighton Horner. He leads it off of 4, followed up by the 0-1 of Ryan Fruits. He looks low, almost gets into him into 1. Still, Horner is now your leader. Now Clouser and Foltz battling off of 2.
Oh, man, Rich Clouser got a great start, but not able to hold that lead. He's fallen all the way back to 3rd. Might lose a spot to Naramore here in the 3. No, he's going after 2nd. He gets into the 0-1 of Foltz. Foltz is sideways but hangs onto it. Rich Clouser back up to 2nd, but Horner starting to drive away in that 8 truck.
Man, Foltz trying to get back in the bumper of Clouser, who gave him a bump. And, oh, he is so loose right now. Into the wall is Foltz.
Grinding the wall down the back straightaway. Now here comes Tyler Sontag into the mix in the 91. Don't count that driver out. Speedy there, as we like to call him in truck number 91, getting into the thick of things. Top 5 West have started to separate themselves from the rest of the pack, but everybody chasing Horner in the 8. And again, only the winner is going to move on here, folks.
Getting to finally catch our breath a little bit. The start of this race was definitely action-packed. Brighton Horner, though, however, is your leader by a long shot right now. Second place being Blake Clouser. Third being Chris Naramore Jr. in that beautiful number 3 machine. Fourth being Ryan Foltz. And looks like we have a battle for that P2 position as Naramore looks low on Clouser, side by side off of 4.
Naramore in the Earnhardt-inspired truck. And you might think, well, that was an easy paint scheme to just throw in a truck. No, that's actually what his actual Mon Mini looks like that he drives over at the Auburndale Speedway. So
this is why we have you here, Ryan.
Yeah.
With these facts.
I give you these little tidbits because, believe it or not, I know I work at a track in Florida, but I like to try to keep up with what's going on around the state. So I'm familiar with what a lot of these guys have up their sleeves. So just giving you a little bit of info there. And look at the 3 truck, getting pretty sporty here. He drives a Mod Mini in real life, a little 4-cylinder machine. And, you know, he's coming alive here in these trucks. We'll see if he can chase down the 8. There's still a long way to go. Coming to lap number 8 this time.
The 01 has gotten back to the bumper of Rich Clouser. They got into it earlier. Hopefully tempers have calmed for Ryan Foltz in the 01 as they're side-by-side coming off a 2. A lot of damage to the Rich Clouser number 22 machine as well as Foltz. But this is short track race and expect to see that. And these trucks can still perform under quite a bit of power even with the damage that they have. So it's not always a big negative situation now as Clouser is in a Sontag-Foltz sandwich.
Yes, he is, and Rich is probably screaming for Blake. If we get a caution, driver change, because we're struggling right now. Rich, you know, I really thought Rich was going to be hard to beat in this race, but right now he's just struggling to hang out of the top 4. Tyler Sontag putting the pressure on. Rich Clouser, great on the real tracks and getting his homework done tonight here behind the sim rig, and now he's got that the challenge from the 91, Tyler Sontag. Up front, though, Naramore is closing in on Horner. We're going to have a battle for the race lead, and that is it. That's the transfer spot between the 8 and the 3.
Shout out real quick to a four-cylinder legend on dirt, Casey Feaster. Casey's actually watching this tonight. He said, trucks at USA? Heck yeah. He's loving this that he's watching right now. He's an all-around race fan as we see the 3 give the bumper to Horner in the 8. And Horner fires off turn 4 and says, whoa, when I see that black number 3 that close to me, it's time to go.
And West, don't look now, but here comes Foltz in the 01, where we got a 3-truck battle for the race lead. Here comes Naramore down to the inside, looking low. Can he make it happen? He gets he gets a boot from the 01 up the track, and that's good news now for Horner in the 8 as he's going to scoot away a little bit. And that's good news for Tyler Sontag. He's getting racy back there in the 4 spot.
That's got to be the worst entry I've seen in a turn 3 in my life.
The apron does not work here at USA International Speedway.
You can't go from the apron and think you're going to make that corner on entry. But he sure the heck tried it.
Well,
and here's the thing, Ryan. He's still catching back up to the 8.
I got to give him credit because at this point, we're more than halfway through what's been a phenomenal race so far. You've got to make something happen because running second is not going to make the cut here tonight. Naramore looks like he's got a faster truck. Patience, though, going to have to prevail. So he's going to have to be smart about the move as he pulls right to the tailgate. Get some M&Ms in your face here, folks. We're riding along with Naramore as he looks at those scared M&Ms right in front of him. And, he's catching him. He's catching him. He almost bumps him. Great action here for the lead. Here comes Naramore looking low. Can he make something happen? Into turn number 3. Not this time. 5 laps to go.
Paul, go ahead and go cockpit on that 3 as soon as you can. This is the battle. Oh, he's already been cockpit. That is awesome. He did it before I could call it. He's looking low and
He
they both save it.
Yes.
They both save it.
And here comes Sontag.
This is by far the best racing I've called all week, and this is awesome. And here comes Cloucher looking low on Foltz and almost gets together, but not quite. Great battle here coming down to 4 to go.
Wes, you were so excited looking at the rest of the field catch these leaders, and we were riding along with Naramore the whole time as he took the lead, and he's starting to drive away. He's got a fast race truck, and he's got this thing figured out. So we'll see if he can hang on, but one mistake with 4 to go. That's a long way around this speedway. One mistake, and the top 5 still within striking distance.
Ryan, I don't even have time to look at my phone right now because the action is crazy. I can't look down at the stream. This is awesome. And this is just the consi, ladies and gentlemen. Our first consi. We still got another one to go. As you see Chris Naramore Jr. in that 3 machine with a huge lead coming across the line to take 2 to go. Can Brighton Horner get back to him? Tyler Sontag not too far.
Well, he better not look in that rearview mirror because if the 8 can catch him, things might get busy at the front once again. Right now, it looks like the battle might be for 3rd. Naramore has picked up to about a 2.5 lead on these guys. Catching, contact between the 8 and the 91. Big save from Horner. Foltz now gets down to the inside. Boy, it's getting crazy back there, but it doesn't even matter back there. They know they've lost. They're out of it unless something crazy develops.
Coming off of 2, those 2 stay side by side, but entering 3 is Chris Naramore Jr.
The 8 gets taken out west. The 1 booped him in the corner. Coming to the finish, started to cut you off, but it's all behind Chris Naramore, so it didn't even matter. Naramore in the 3 qualifies in.
And Tyler Sontag worked his way all the way up to 2nd place. Let that sink in.
Heartbreak again for Sontag. Remember, Wes, last Wednesday he was 1 spot out in his B feature over there at New Smyrna, and tonight he misses the truck inaugural race here by a spot.
Ryan, I'm just going to double check here to make sure that is correct on who is moving on. I believe it was just the leader, so please, or the winner. So give me 1 second here. I'm just going to.
We'll let you check that here because
it was. Yep, just the leader.
Man, oh man, tough break. Got to give Tyler Sontag credit. He does not give up. It's really easy to say, all right, this isn't for me, but he's here week in and week out, and he'll make it on Wednesday. I have a good feeling.
Oh, there's no doubt. And a driver looking to make it here tonight will be starting pole Jason Lester. On his outside is Jeffrey Gabolt in the 92 machine. TJ Chambers in the 35 will be starting 3rd. To his outside will be the 33 of Clint Holmes. That will be your top 4 coming up here. And then 5th will be Daryl Calder in the 26. 6th will be Cody Brinson in the 98. 7th was supposed to be Chris Fratiani and Hayden Volk, but that's going to round out your field. So 6 trucks, throw that nickel in. 6 trucks here tonight. Let's see who moves on.
Well, as we saw in the last race, only the winner, and it's hard to believe, but Jason Lester here in this second B main. Cody Brinson was also very fast. Clint Holmes struggled in his heat race. Chambers was good as well. So it's going to be tough to pick a winner here out of this one, Wes. I know Lester's going to be tough to get around. And if you get around him, watch your back bumper because he'll be aggressive. So I would say, Wes, I've already put too many pennies in the bin tonight, so I'm not going to bet. But I'd say watch Lester and watch Brinson.
I'm going to have to be there with you, as well as the pace truck hits down pit road. Green flag is out. The drivers fire, and we are drag racing down into turn 1. Is Gabalt and Lester. Lester with the advantage on the bottom side, coming out of 2. Gabalt trying to stay there. Lester clears him out of 2.
Lester in that JBL ride here tonight. He's got the lead in the 3. Here comes Chambers in the 35 using that apron lane. Wes, he made it work that time, though.
He did. That typically doesn't work here, but it did this time. And then further in the back, Cody Brinson is working his way up through the pack. He's broken into the top 5 already. Has Cody Brinson working, 4th now, working on the Daryl Calder machine in the back. He's able to clear him. Now the battle is heating up for 2nd as TJ Chambers trying to work his way around Jeffrey Gabalt.
Yeah, Brinson, I'm watching him in the back. He's up to 4th in that white number 98 truck. Cody Brinson getting racy. As there he is on your screen, up to 4th, closing in on Chambers now. Chambers in 3rd. But again, Jason Lester had a little bit of a problem down the back straightaway. Just about opened the door, and now that's going to put the top 4 nose to tail here coming off turn number 4. So, Wes, this race just getting going here, and here comes Brinson trying to go to the high side to take 3rd away.
Those two got together in their heat race, did Brinson and TJ Chambers. A little bit of action to watch there, see if possibly there's a little bit of revenge here from TJ Chambers as he's making Brinson go around him the hard way, which is the outside. And it's getting sideways off the corner is Jeffrey Gabalt. He gets really sideways off the corner there, lose a little bit of ground onto Lester. Lester's still your leader. They're stacking up behind him out of 2.
Boy, he got big sideways there, Wes, and the battle for 2nd is within 4 trucks now going for it as they're all way behind Jason Lester, as you see here on your screen. Lester pulling off to almost a 2nd lead here. Cody Brinson with a wild move, cuts down to the inside. He won 2nd. Hard entry into turn number 1. He'll hold on to 3rd, but it's getting racy. They know they've got to go. It's go or go home time here in this final consolation race.
At 35 of Chambers again using that apron. He's been using that more than he has the regular racing surface. Cody Brinson kind of put a little bit of a defense.
We got a spin in the back of the field. I believe our 6th place truck just went around off turn number 4. I think that was Clint Holmes, the 33 once again. Just saw him out of the corner of the screen there, Wes, but we're going to stay green for the time being.
Yeah, he's kind of going backwards on it. He's trying to get it up and go. The leaders were coming around.
And there's the caution. Caution is going to come out with that disabled truck still in the infield, Wes. The race officials forced to bring out a caution. These consolation races have been worth the price of admission alone, and you guys didn't have to pay for this, so you're welcome.
Man, I was watching that machine that was stuck down there. I believe that was Clint Holmes, and I was sitting there watching, like, is he gonna go? Is he gonna go? Is he gonna go? And he just never went. And then he started going backwards, like, I hope the admin throws the caution.
It's that classic short track move. I can't get it going until the yellow comes out.
Yeah, I honestly think he was having some issues getting it going down there in the grass. But that's not what Jason Lester wanted to see. We're about halfway through this. And for everybody watching, I know at one point we hit over 100 viewers. Thank you so much. This has been a blast calling not only the heat races, but these consies, Ryan. I feel like I'm right in the booth again with you at New Smyrna calling the action.
Absolutely, and it's been a lot of fun here tonight. The first of 6 races for the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Esports Series here on Verdane TV. And pretty neat to see a series get behind what we're doing here on Verdane TV. This all started with a one-off race at the New Smyrna Speedway during that time of uncertainty to kind of help fill the void. And again, I'll say it every week. We appreciate y'all's efforts for that. That was a lot of fun. And now it's transpired into these two great series, and I'm having a blast with it.
I'm right there with you. And if you are watching, feel free to hit that like button. If you have not hit it yet, hit that follow button on here and YouTube. We call action like this all week long, 7 days a week, all different tracks, all different drivers, all different driving styles. So if you like what you see here, we got more coming to you. But and also Wednesday, the new Smyrna Speedway Series League, where Ryan and I will be in the booth again. And Jennifer Brinson said, y'all announcers are excited as I was Saturday at 4:17. Absolutely. This is what me and Ryan live for.
Hey, this might be internet racing, but doesn't mean we can't get excited up here at the booth. I'm not going to lie, Wes. I am itching to get back to real racing. I'm missing it every week. And sometimes I sit in sadness knowing that I can't go racing this weekend. But this helps. This helps a lot. And it helps so when I get back out there, I'll actually know what the hell I'm doing. So I'm glad everybody's enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun to be a part of Verdane TV. So again, I'll thank you guys for letting me on here tonight. And you guys enjoy the rest of this B main. And if you're watching, tell your friends to get on here for the feature. I know it's taking a little bit of time to get to the feature, but the feature is going to be great because we've seen some fantastic racing. So, I know it's social distancing and all, but get on Facebook and tell your friends to click the link and watch with you.
And Ryan, I can't wait to get back racing. I can't wait until you message me and tell me, Wes, we have a spectator race. I hope we have that in 2020 again, because
we're going to have somebody. Don't you worry. And I expect after all this, you to be there.
I will be, and if I bring home the W again, I do plan on doing something special with the Color Shift Corvette, as well as possibly doing something special in a Victory Lane.
Are you going to climb the fence, fall off, and roll down the front straightaway again? We have to know.
One and done on that one, buddy. One and done.
All right, probably for the best.
I woke up with more rug burn than a motorcycle. Sorry.
Yep, it's always, you always think, man, this was a great idea when I thought about it before I went to bed, and yeah, not so much.
I thought I was Tony Stewart, then I realized there's a lot he and I don't have in common.
Yeah, like a lot of wins. All right, Wes, here we go. Let's try to settle this here. Looks like we're going to have 8 laps to go. Jason Lester gets on the gas. Watch that white number 98, Cody Brinson. He's going to be a player. Jeffrey Gabalt gets the wall as they go into turn 1.
And look who's on the apron again, TJ Chambers. Working that apron all night long, but now we are about 7 to go at the line. Your battle for the lead has heated up. Brinson coming all the way from the back, did Cody, and he's got the run on Jason Lester. We got two big personalities here up front.
Yes, we do. And Cody Brinson from the back of the field right to the tailgate of the Jason Lester number 7. Here we go, folks. Remember, only one spot transfers to the main event. So riding second, not good enough for Brinson. It's a 2-car battle here, Wes. Brinson 98, Lester 7. Who's it going to be as we have 5 laps to go?
Man, there's a lot of respect in between these two drivers, I'll tell you that. Jason Lester, one of the fastest, most talented drivers that we see in a truck in the series. And as we speak good about him, he gets tight coming off of 4. That opens up the door for Brinson down low. Brinson able to get him, and he clears him off of 2. Your leader, Cody Brinson.
How about Brinson getting by the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series veteran? One of the top contenders week in and week out on the real series. Now back to second and out of the main event. Brinson from last on the starting grid to the lead with 4 to go.
Jennifer Brinson says, good Lord, don't wreck Lester. He knows where we live. You know what? I would usually find that it's a joke, but she's probably serious when it comes to Jason Lester. As this time of 3 to go, does Lester have anything for Cody Brinson, who just made that miraculous run from last to first?
Brinson's going to want to tie down the pit box because Lester's not going to be happy because he got passed. It doesn't matter how. He ain't going to be happy. Lester, he's only happy if he wins. So tie down those pit boxes. You know what I'm going to recommend everybody here? Tie down your pit box and your vehicle.
Cody Brinson is actually an ex-spotter, I guess, for Jason Lester. So mutual respect in between these drivers. I guess if Lester can't get it, I'm sure that would be his second pick, the driver of that 98 machine, as the popsicle sticks are out. The winner of this race moves on. Second goes home. What they do before they go home and what they trash is not our responsibility. White rag, a white flag is out for Cody Brinson.
All right, this is it, Wes. Final time. Lester's going to push and give that 7 truck everything he has here because he knows he's got to make this race or else. Again, this is a championship series, so... Oh, lap truck dead in the way. Brinson swerves out of the way. No problems there, but a wild moment. Cody Brinson, what a drive, Wes, from the back of the pack to victory lane here in the consolation race. Cody Brinson moves on. Lester and everybody else goes home as Lester puts him in the fence for good measure afterwards.
See, you're allowed to do that after the green flag. You are absolutely allowed to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is your C and B mains. Now we will pause as Paul gets together a national anthem from New Smyrna Speedway. So if you could just pause for a moment for our national anthem, we'll bring the action right back to you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes send bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly singing, and the rockets rang clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Joey. That was amazing. Amazing national anthem. But we've had so many great singers at the New Smyrna Speedway, and I know we have a lot of people that do come to New Smyrna Speedway and other tracks. If you're ever brave enough and you want to sing the national anthem for us, please shoot us a message on our Facebook page. We'd love to have you perform our national anthem. We always love to have live singers do it. So who knows? We might even use you here on Bedane TV.
All right, guys, I'm back. Had to grab me a couple daddy sodas. And you ready to call 100 laps of this action in the trucks at USA?
Oh, I'm more than ready. This has been great. The qualifying action, it's usually like insanity over at New Smyrna. We've seen some great racing. So, Wes, we were just kind of chit-chatting there off the broadcast about how good the racing's been so far. And I think we're anticipating a great main event. We might see some wild stuff at the beginning, especially with some fast trucks having to, they qualified, but they haven't been in race conditions yet up near the front. Then you got those who transferred their way in from the heats and the B mains. It's going to be great.
to run down real quick your top 10 that you didn't get to see in these heats because they moved on. The top 6 got inverted. So if you qualified 6th, you're starting pole tonight. And that was Jay Zolciak Jr. in the 02. He's going to be starting pole, followed up by Colt Cecil in the 19. He's starting 2nd. Starting 3rd will be Cameron Ray in the 9. 4th will be Anthony Sergi in the 20. His crew chief, the number 69 of Dennis Dean, he's going to be starting 5th, followed up by the 37 of Michael Goddard will be starting 6th. 7th will be Jimmy Frazier in the 6th. Nick Neary in the 32 will be starting 8th. 9th will be Raymond Dormer in the 44. And then Bray Holmes in the 2 will be rounding out your top 10 for tonight.
And those top 10, if you weren't with us earlier, didn't have to race their way in. They locked their way in through qualifying.
And Ryan, I wish we were here at the track because I wish we had, somebody on the microphone, whoever the marketing guy might be at the track now.
We need a pit reporter, don't we?
We need someone to do the "We Will Rock You." That's the thing we got to get going, man.
Oh man, we'd have the crowd rocking and rolling tonight for sure.
Oh man, this has been so fun. And again, everybody that's watching, thank you so much. We've been right around the 100 viewers mark all night, and thank you so much, guys. Paul and I put in so much damn time and energy on Vidane TV. When we see these numbers like this, it truly means a lot. We do this for one reason only, and that's to benefit you guys. We do have some sponsorships, which like AWS, Edgewater Screens, as many more, College Hunks, Holland Junks. I wish I could name them all. I will Wednesday night when we have the full read. But we don't really profit off of this like that. This is all for your entertainment. As a fan, I want to be at a racetrack, either in a car, on dirt, getting the heck beat out of me, in the stands, in the booth with Ryan, in the vet doing a spectator race. I want to be at the racetrack. I know you guys want to be at the racetrack. So we're here calling this to give you guys something to watch, especially on the weekdays. Shout out to 417 and Showtime and every other track around the country that put on action this past weekend, getting open back up, even outside of Florida. Thank you so much again for watching. Thank you for being race fans. Ryan and I are probably going to lose our voice calling this race.
Yeah,
we cannot wait.
And guys, make sure when your tracks open up, make sure you support them if you can. And don't give the tracks that are struggling to open back up a hard time. There are a lot of regulations that go into being able to open up.
Wait, Ryan.
Yes.
I messed up.
What happened? Of course you messed up. What'd you do?
The top 2 of the consies moved on. That means Jason Lester is in the race. Jason Lester and Jeffrey Gabal are in this race. The roof is flying off this thing.
Oh boy. Well, see, it changes on a dime here. That's why you got to keep watching. But again, when your tracks open up, make sure you do support them. I know New Smyrna and Volusia are being hurt right now by by their county government, fighting through a lot of battles there. But we'll be back to racing here soon. And like I said, if you want to know who is racing and when and what's going on, even when things get back to normal, Sunshine State Racing on Facebook, that's your place, your one-stop shop. They'll let you know everything that's going on. We appreciate all the hard work that goes into that Facebook page. I use them. They're a great resource. So, Wes, here we go, getting ready to go green flag racing for the first ever Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series Esports 100 here at the USA International Speedway on Vidane TV. Who's going to get the whole shot, if you will, in turn number 1? Zolciak and Cecil side by side. A good start here.
We did. We got Jimmy Frazier in the 6, got a little loose on the start there, but he was able to gather up without an issue. He's kind of pinned on the outside as well as the 20 of Anthony Sergi. The outside is not where you want to go. This becomes a one-lane track really quickly here at USA International, as now Michael Goddard works underneath the 20 Anthony Sergi machine. That's going to open up the door here for the 32 of Neary. He's going to look low as Anthony Sergi gets a bump from Bray Holmes. Anthony Sergi just kind of a rolling barricade right now up there.
Nick Neary's truck making me quite hungry. He's got the Twinkie to ride on the side of that thing, and he's moving up in the 32. I want to give a shout out to the 9, Cameron Ray. Some of you may recognize the name, but Cameron Ray actually, he owns the Citrus County Speedway. You can see there on the side of his truck. Citrus County will be back in action. I believe they have late models coming up next weekend. So if you want to see some great racing, you can head over there. It's a fun little facility. So Cameron Ray in the 9 up to second behind Jay Zolciak. So I know that Citrus, all the tracks, we're all competitors, but Citrus is a great facility, so support them if you can. So yes, Wes Zolciak, our leader, and again, we talked about it, or well, I guess I kind of mentioned it. These guys haven't been in race conditions yet. They've practiced and qualified, but it's not hurting them too much, is it?
We had a practice race last night where all of 6 drivers showed up, so I was a little concerned tonight. A lot of these drivers I haven't gotten to talk to personally, so I wasn't sure how they would do. But USA is a driver-friendly track, Ryan. This is a wide track. If New Smyrna was a little flatter, this would remind me so much of New Smyrna. If it's a little longer, a little flatter, it drives very similar here on the sim, at least. Just like I said, a little flatter, and with it being flatter, it gives you a little bit more room to work around each other. So the battle on the track, though, is Bray Holmes in the 2 machine. He's on the bottom side of the 20 of Anthony Sergi, and in tow is Dylan Canova in the 70.
Canova in the 70. If you did not watch our heat, some close quarters action there. Canova in that 70. If you didn't watch our heat race,
Oh boy!
Oh, 3 wide. But Wes, you mentioned it, the room. You got the room to race here, and they were able to sort it out. Let's see if they settle down a little bit. Canova in the 70 had a real fast truck.
Caution's
Now we got a caution.
Tyler
I'll talk about
Sontag.
Canova some other time. Oh, Sontag. He tagged the wall.
We're gonna get a quick look here to see what may have happened to Sontag. He got clipped by a Lester.
Go figure. Those two. Oh, man. Lester won't be getting his hero cards this year.
Yep, I don't think Lester will be getting those hero cards, unfortunately. But a little bit of a racing deal, though. It's short track racing. It wasn't. It doesn't. I don't think it was anything intentional. Just a little bump from the 7 of Jason Lester. Nothing too crazy. I'm sure Paul's going to get us that replay so we can take a quick look at it.
Yeah, just took a quick look at it. Just kind of a lazy, little bit of a bump from the 7 into the 91. 91 didn't hit anything, so doesn't look like too much of a big deal. But we're actually seeing Sontag has scored a lap down right now. I'm not entirely sure what the deal is with that. Maybe that was had something to do with why he was back there with Lester.
All right, and a quick reminder to these drivers and these gentlemen, you get 1 reset. You get a chance to reset your ride and try to get a new machine if you get too much damage. So Tyler Sontag's not all the way out of it. You know, we almost got 10 green flag laps in, which wasn't completely expected, but there's some talented drivers on this racetrack, even if they're not familiar with the sim.
Oh, Wes, I was just looking into the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series. They've been bit here by the delays with COVID, and they were trying to get a race together for Auburndale last weekend, and that was a no-go. Auburndale was not allowed to open with fans, so that race was canceled. I just want to let everybody know who's watching, please make sure you follow the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series on Facebook so that you can stay up to date when they'll be back in action. Because if you've never seen a series race, this series just came into being about a year ago, and if you've never seen them race, they put on some great races. We've seen a couple of them over at New Smyrna, and got to see the last one last year at 417 Speedway, and it was a blast. These truckers put on a great show, so if you're enjoying the sim racing aspect of the trucks, make sure you get on Facebook and follow the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series so you can get out there and support them and see a race in person here eventually. I was trying to see when their next race was going to be, but things are still... It's a very murky situation here for all the racetracks right now, so just make sure you watch them there. But as this series goes along, we'll keep everybody up to date when you can catch the Florida Pro Trucks at your next real racetrack.
Ryan, you know what this race needs?
A little more Jason Lester.
It's not opposite day, Ryan. Do you know what this racetrack needs? Or this race needs? And Wednesday nights, you know what we need?
What do we need, Wes?
We need a little bit more of Dom.
Oh, man, I don't think the Doms know what a computer is, my friend.
I'm going to agree with you, and believe me, the Doms are some of the nicest guys I've ever encountered at a racetrack while sober. but boy, would it be cool to see them on iRacing.
Man, here's the thing, they could probably, with the parts that they have, build a computer. But man, if we could get Mike Dom for our Wednesday night program with the New Smyrna Esports Series, Esports World Series, that would be incredible. And maybe he could stay on the lead lap. But no, got to give a shout out to the Doms. They're awesome. Mike Dom got his first career win at New Smyrna last year in an E-modified. And they're just the guys. They're always there. They race multiple divisions. They might not have the best stuff, but they have the best time, and that's what racing's all about. Speaking of racing, time to get back to racing, and Jay Zolciak is ready to go. He gets the whole shot, the jump on Cameron Ray as they head down into turn number 1. It's Zolciak, the 0-2-year race leader.
Even though Dom won I remember calling that race with you. Didn't he win?
The
wrecking behind us.
We got a
Wrecking
big
behind us. Oh, boy.
Somebody's got some smoke showing. That's big damage there. They might have to use their reset.
Yeah, it looks like the 70 of Dylan Canova. Man,
Oh,
drivers involved.
See, Wes, I did it again. I was trying to talk good about him, and now look at him. He's wrecked. My fault. My bad.
Yeah, something happened with the Bray Holmes machine. Looks like he may have gotten up into the 70 of Canova there. I'm sure Paul will get us a replay here momentarily, but it doesn't take much, just a little bit of contact on entry. And now the old saying goes, caution breeds cautions. But, it is what it is. That gives us some more AWS roofing replays, Paul.
That's right, AWS roofing replay on your screen right now. Taking a quick peek at what went down, and you can see the 70 car. We're actually going to look at this in slow motion because I saw the 70 truck. Oh, there's a penny in the jar. I called it a car. 70 truck goes around, but I didn't see any contact. So this is where I was before, and you can see the 6 is behind him, closing in on him, but man, just gets sent right on around. There's no contact there. There's going to be contact here as the 70 comes up and collects the 6, pancakes him into the wall, crushes the front end of that car, truck. It's another penny. Backs the 70 into the wall and almost gets that other truck there. Good move there, putting the brakes on, not rolling down into the racing groove until everybody gets by. So tough break for the 70 truck.
Paul, it looks like the 2 of Bray Holmes, he might have had a connection issue because his truck just disappeared as it came in the frame, and then the 70 went around. So there may have been a connection issue. And you know what's going to happen when we get back to real racing? If somebody hits somebody and be like, dude, my internet, it was my internet. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. I swear my internet came disconnected, and that's why you got spun out.
I can't wait for NASCAR to get going because I promise you Clint Boyer is going to say that when he wrecks somebody.
We got racing coming back on Sunday for NASCAR, and I have never been more excited for Darlington.
Oh, man. I've been in the pits. I got to sponsor JD Motorsports and the Xfinity team quite a few times, as well as hot passes for the Cup Series at Darlington, as well as fun tidbit. I'm actually born in Darlington, South Carolina, a half mile from the racetrack, and that track isn't the most fun to watch from the stands, but boy, do they put on a show, and seeing the action from the infield is fun. And tell Margot we say hello.
Yeah, you can hear her in the background. She's been watching over there on the TV. You know what? She's gotten into this whole thing. So
that's what it's about. Did I bet you before all this started you weren't an iRacing fan? Margot wasn't an iRacing fan. Jason Lesser couldn't even spell iRacing. And now we have a bunch of drivers out here and fans watching internet racing. And you know what? It's fun, and it's the only option we have on a Monday night.
Hey, it is fun, and like I said, it's helped fill the void, and going forward, it'll be something fun to do on the weeknights.
And let me put on record that we love Jason Lester. We kid because we care.
We love all of our drivers who are participating in this, and you know what? If we can't pick on you, then it's no fun. So.
Absolutely. We got a guy named Derek Luchaki that we pick on that races the short tracks on weekends. And he messaged like, man, you got a problem with me? Why are you always picking on me? I'm like, man, because we love you. We love you. That's why we pick on you. So we're about to go back at Green Flag Racing here, Ryan, on the taking lap 20 when they come and hit the line, lap 20.
All right, so we're getting ready to go at green, as Wes said here on lap 20. The 0-2, Jay Zolciak, is your leader with Cameron Ray in the Citrus County Speedway number 9, who is outside. He falls back to the inside, and here comes Dean now in the 69 up to that third spot as he clears No, he doesn't quite clear Michael Goddard there in the 37. Goddard up high. That's the battle for fourth between the 69 and the 37. The 69 going to pull out. Here comes Goddard looking down on the inside. So some great racing here up at the front of the field. Goddard trying to take that third position back. It's the apron a little bit, but seen some
Caution
great
is
racing.
out. Caution is out.
Caution.
Oh, Lester gets spun by Tyler Sontag.
Oh, that must be some payback.
He just did a quick 360 spin, but I think further back is where the caution came out. But Tyler Sontag in the 91 at least getting involved in an incident. Not exactly sure where the actual caution flew, but saw it come out there at the last second with Tyler Sontag getting in the back of Jason Lester. Looks like they were checking up for an incident that possibly involved the 41 machine. We're going to check that.
Good thing we have Paul with his hands on the replay board, so he can bring us everything.
Yes, it was the 41 machine, the 28 machine as well, wrecked on the front stretch of Billy Bigley. Man, I love that name, Billy Bigley. I love that. He got sideways coming off a 4, hit the wall. The 41 got sideways as well. Got wrecked. Unfortunately, looks like Brinson got into the 41 as the 41 got sideways coming off of the corner. So some trucks with some damage. And then checking up for that, Paul's going to get us the action. But Tyler Sontag got into the back of Jason Lester, and I'm sure Lester's not happy. I can hear. I have the chat muted, but I can hear Lester even with it muted.
Now, this is one of those replays, the AWS roofing instant replay. We're going to take a look at in slow motion from the blimp. You see the 28 hits the apron, gets a little bit loose, and he gets shot down onto the ground. And the 41, almost unrelated, goes up and pancakes the wall, overcorrects, and comes right across the nose of the 98 truck. Pancakes him into the wall, caving in the nose of that truck. And as you can see, the what number is that? Looks like the 63, the 31, they go down low. The 01 just trying to just slam on the brakes, get in the back end of that truck all over the place. Not seeing where Sontag comes into the room. Oh, here he is. He's coming into the picture right now. You can see he's going to shoot down low underneath the 3. And there he is with Jason Lester. So you can see Sontag just kind of gets up and boop, gives Lester the old, hey, how you doing? Yeah, it doesn't look like, aside from the 41, doesn't look like anybody else was collected in this wreck.
And Lester did a great job of just doing a quick 360 and going. So Lester is one heck of a race car driver. I'll tell you that.
That was one of those wrecks that just kept happening and just kept finding places to keep happening. That was an interesting one.
Cautions breed cautions. We got the first 10 laps were incident free, but now it's they're struggling to get the laps in. So while we got a second, your leader is Jay Zolciak. He started on pole after the invert, meaning he qualified 6th. He started pole. Second, Cameron Ray in the number 9 machine, the Citrus County. Is it Citrus County Raceway or Speedway?
Citrus County Speedway.
Citrus County Speedway owner. So Cameron Ray out there putting on a show. If you ever need announcers for anything, both of us are available for hire. Dennis Dean running 3rd. He's the crew chief for the number 20 of Anthony Sergi Super Late Model. And then Michael Goddard running 4th. And what does Michael Goddard run? Is it a street, super street or super stock?
He's got a Super Late Model now, Michael Goddard does.
Super late for Michael Goddard. Okay, then we got Nick Neary running 5th. And that Twinkies ride, I got to stop focusing on that car. I'm gaining weight. And then Colt Cecil starting running 6th, Anthony Sergi 7th, Bray Holmes 8th, Raymond Dormore 9th, and then Chase King rounds out your top 10. And I believe next time around, possibly, I think we may be going green. And Tyler Sontag did get an end of longest line penalty because of spinning Lester under caution. And hey, that one was actually, that one should have happened, to be honest with you.
Well, that was just residual there. I think they were just kind of scrambling, and you know what? I think Tyler's brakes went a little bit soft when he got near Lester. So, all right, here we go. Green flag back out. Jay Zolciak in the 02 has been the dominating force so far, and again, another great restart. And restarts have been key in much of the racing that we've seen here on Verdane TV. If you can get a good restart, get away from this gaggle of cars behind you, you'll be in good shape. Here we go. Let's see if we can get some green flag racing in for you.
Ryan, we're hoping to see at least 5-6 laps get going so these guys can get into a rhythm, basically. get into a rhythm, get some heat in the tires, and just get rocking and rolling. That's what it's going to take in order to get a long green flag run in, which they're absolutely capable of doing. Just got to keep it green here, Ryan, and it looks like most of the field has turned into what I used to call at New Smyrna Speedway the worm burner, where they're basically single file throughout the field, which is sometimes that's what it takes to get in a green flag run.
I love that. Every time you announced with me, you had to work that in, and that was that's our favorite thing. You know, little inside information. I always get a secret word or two from our scorers that they want me to work into the show, and yours was always worm burner, so I'm glad you brought that back. So right now, folks, we've got a great worm burner going. We got a worm all the way around the speedway at this point, but the top 6, all the way back to the 32 of Nick Neary, who's a super late model driver. The top 6 breaking away a little bit, single file. Anthony Sergi, the pink truck back there, trying to get back into the thick of things. Right now, he's letting his crew chief beat him, but I guess when you got the setup info, you should beat the driver, right?
I mean, I hope so. I mean, that's typically where you know that common sense would come to that. But the battle for the lead is actually starting to heat up here, as Cameron Ray has not left the back bumper of Jay Zolciak. The 69 of Dennis Dean is all over the back bumper of Ray coming out into the corners. Well, Ray is able to beat him coming out of the corners. So
I got another little fun fact about Cameron Ray. He's not only is he the owner of Citrus Speedway, but he's a pretty good racer himself. He actually he used to come out to Speed Weeks, at least at New Smyrna, as he's really putting the pressure on the O2 now. And I believe the last time he raced at New Smyrna, he won. He was promoting the reopening of Citrus County Speedway, and he won a modified race back in, I want to say 2017, might have been 16 or 17, and he won a race, and that was the last time we've seen him there, because now his focus is, of course, on his own racetrack, but pretty good little racer and doing pretty good in the iRacing as well.
As he's starting to look all over the track here, trying to get around Jay Zolciak.
That move.
He's doing all he can. He looks like me in a spectator race all over the dang track as he looks low.
Passing 6 cars on the first lap, stinking up the show. Cameron Ray, though, settles back into second. Top 3 or no.
All we need is a red Mustang to pile it off of turn 4.
See, Wes, I need to put spectator cars in this game. We can have our own spectator racing series.
You know what? We have some Mazda Miatas, we have some VWs, and we have the Pontiac Solstice. I mean, anything can happen, and we have a Kia. So, in the battle for the lead, the battle for the lead is on as Cameron Ray looks low on Jay Zolciak. We might have our first lead change of the night. They're side by side drag racing into one.
Now give it to Zolciak by a bumper cover that time, but now Cameron Ray's got that preferred line as he almost slips up, and here comes the 69 into the thick of things. 3 trucks under a blanket for the race lead. Crossover from the O2. No, falls back in line, and Cameron Ray comes off to number 4, and Wes on lap 37. Looks like we'll have our first official lead change of the night. Cameron Ray in the 9 truck.
We got one around in the back. The 41 of Jeff White. He's able to get it back going. Maybe he's doing donuts in the middle of 4, trying to get it back going. And
we might be able to stay green here, Wes.
We are able to stay green. That's the plus side of having admin-controlled cautions. If you just wreck on your own, it's your responsibility to get up and going. The leaders don't get punished. So
now the leaders are going to have to deal with him, though, as he's only a couple of truck lengths ahead. Top 5 still breaking away, still relatively close to one another, so some great racing out of these truckers here tonight. Let's take you through the field. Cameron Ray in the 9, he's your leader. You have Jay Zolciak in 2nd, Dennis Dean in 3rd in the 69, then it's Michael Goddard 37. Nick Neary in the Twinkies car is 5th, and then back behind him you have the 19 of Colt Cecil, a regular on the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series. Behind him you have Anthony Sergi in the Monster Energy pink truck here tonight. Back behind them you have the 2, that is Bray Holmes, another regular on this series. And back behind them, the TMC Transportation number 44, you have Raymond Dormer.
You know, Ryan, we got a quick note from Anthony Sergi before this race. He said he actually
what's he up to now?
Tried to race a truck in the past. Did you know that?
He started back in the pro trucks back in the day before he moved up into late models.
That's exactly what I was getting to. He has experience in these trucks. He knows what he's doing in the trucks. And for those that are unfamiliar with what this truck series is here, what we're using is what is called the iRacing C-Class Series, which is the Gander Outdoor Truck Series. And with the Gander Outdoor Truck Series, in real life, they have more power than what the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series has. So what we ended up doing is we decreased the power on these trucks as much as the server would allow us to make these trucks a little bit more realistic to what they are in real life. So these drivers could get a little bit more of a real feel. So as we are speaking about that, the tooth machine of Bray Holmes cannot stay out of the wall. He's been bouncing off the wall. He's dropped out of the top 10. That truck is not handling. He's needing a caution as Chris Naramore comes out of the pits in the number 3 machine. He has not had the best race. He was able to race his way into this race, and
He was so quick in that consolation race that he won back a couple hours ago, but struggling in the feature, and that's kind of something that we see. It's easy to get thrown off, Wes, as we watch the heats and then the consolation races, because we're trying to pick our drivers who we think are going to contend, but then we forget about the guys who qualified. Like, I forgot Cameron Ray was even in the server here tonight, and now here he is leading the race. So just because you have a great race in a heat or a consi doesn't mean the feature is going to go your way.
battle here for second, as now Goddard looks low on Jay Zolciak, 37 and 02, side by side coming off of 4, make a slight contact, give the advantage to Goddard heading down into 1. There is Zolciak staying at his door, not allowing him to have it easily. Can Goddard clear him off of 2? Yes, he can. New second place is Goddard. Let's see if he has the number leader.
Second place, you got the 69 Dennis Dean. That was actually the battle for third. Dean kind of snuck in there ahead of that battle. But now we have our former race leader, the O2, slipping back, Wes, right around the halfway point of this race. You think the O2 of Zolciak, you think he used up his stuff a little bit here?
I think he did, and I apologize for that. I didn't know that Cameron Ray checked out so far from the Dennis Dean. I was calling Dennis Dean as the leader there, but it's easy to do here. Is these guys that didn't run the practice race didn't get to experience the tire wear here. And for our Wednesday series for New Smyrna, we actually don't allow tire changes, but because of the tire wear here in the trucks at USA International, these guys are allowed to change tires. So if the caution comes out after this great green flag run, don't be surprised to see some trucks head down pit road.
What you're saying is, don't cast your chips yet. Things could change.
Oh, absolutely. You don't know who's conserving tires, who, like Cameron Ray, might be out there just burning up his tires. He could just be out there running as hard as he can, and that could bite you in the tail in the long run, literally and figuratively. You know.
Also, if they all change tires, then don't count the O2 out from still contending as leaders now catching some lap traffic. I think I see the 41 Jeffrey White right up there, and I think that's I can't tell that other truck there. It might be Bigley there in the 28. So the leader in some heavy lap traffic here, Cameron Ray at Citrus Speedway number 9, catching now as we ride along with our race leader. You can see the damage to the back tailgate area of the 41 of Jeffrey White, with Cameron Ray now having to deal with lap traffic, but he's got a 1.4 second lead, so he's got a comfortable cushion as we've just crossed the halfway point, make it lap 51 now.
Ryan, I can't help but be happy about watching this race, calling this race, being a part of this race. These gentlemen are putting on one hell of a show. And again, if you are watching here on Facebook, go ahead and hit that follow button for us. We would love to have you as a follower. We just eclipsed 1,000 followers last night. So we put in a lot of work here. It's all appreciated. YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We do some premium action on YouTube that you may not see on Facebook. Be sure to check that out as well. Big thank you to AWS Roofing. Check them out on Facebook. AWS Roofing Services on Facebook. The number one, and they've actually been rating the number one roofing company in the state of Florida. They'll actually travel outside of Florida for you. We got a heck of a hurricane season coming up. They're going to be a page to like because you may need them. 30 years of experience. They are the ones to call. We thank them for being a sponsor and a supporter here at Verdane TV. And if you would like to have the same opportunities as AWS Racing, go ahead and message us at Verdane TV on Facebook. Ask us for our packages. We have some cool packages for potential sponsors that we could possibly get you in as well, do some Zoom interviews with you, get your name out there just like we do for Edgewater Screens on Wednesday nights.
Absolutely. And like I said, if you want to be a partner, get a hold of these guys. If you want to participate, you want to get into the iRacing extravaganza here that this boom that we've seen during this quarantine, make sure you get a hold of the Verdane guys. They'll let you know how to get involved in this stuff. And, you can be part of the action here. So we've seen some really great racing with the New Smyrna Esports 100, and then transferring that over to the E-World Series and now to this Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series. And it's great to see a great mix once again here in this series, from actual Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series regulars to late model drivers to even our photographers. Like you see Tyler Sontag is about to go a lap down to our race leader here. And then just a whole host of others. So a very accessible thing if you want to get a hold, or if you want to get involved, get a hold of the guys at Verdane TV, and they'll let you know how to
We
be.
got a battle here for the third position, and now Nick Neary is trying to take it from Michael Goddard as we head down into 3 there, side by side in that Twinkies machine. And joining that battle is Jay Zolziak in that 02, as these 3 can be thrown under a blanket. Don't know why you would want 3 men under a blanket, but just in case, we have them here for you as they roll through 1 and 2, Ryan.
Yeah, we got a great battle here, guys.
I know you're laughing your ass off.
Yeah, I had to take my I had to mute myself there for a minute. That was a good one. That was a nice banger there.
See, we can play like that in the virtual booth, Ryan.
It has been brought to my attention that they're. Never mind. We'll continue on here with the battle here for the race lead. Michael Goddard in the 37. He's up to third. Nick Neary fourth. And Jeffrey DeBalt, the early race leader, now in fifth. The top 2 have broken away from the rest of the pack. But how about Cameron Ray with almost a 3-second lead right now, Wes?
Tyler Sontag at 21st is currently your lucky dog sitter. And shout out to Jason Lester. He hasn't completely overblown yet. He started this run in the 20s. He started tail end because he was involved in that last incident. He's worked his way all the way up to 14th. So shout out to Jason Lester for not completely losing his mind, his attitude, and everything else underneath his skin, and working his way up as he just bounced his truck off of the turn from the wall. And now he battles side by side with Jimmy Frazier.
Lester could still be a player. We haven't really seen it yet with one of those restarts that takes everybody out. It's probably coming eventually, maybe in this 6-race series. So Lester might be back in the back in the 14th or spot or whatever right now, but might be a player later. Nick Neary, though, in the 32, we're riding along with him. He just grazed the wall. And things are getting racy up front. How about the 98 West? Cody Brinson now battling for the 5th spot. Where did he come from? Remember, he just transferred from one of the B mains, started way out back, and now challenging for a top 5 spot in that 98.
Man, Cody Brinson, when he shows his patience, that boy can drive, and it is Cody Brinson. I think that's something that a lot of these younger gentlemen they struggle with is the patience, and we see something from Blake Clouser, from Tanner Thomas on Wednesdays, as well as Cody Brinson. Some of our younger drivers struggle with the patience, and Jennifer is claiming claiming fault for Cody's, but Cody's shown a lot of patience in this feature, and he has now worked his way up into the top 5 as he clears the 32 of Nick Neary.
Cody Brinson is flying through this field. A ways back from our race leader, we still have 20 trucks on the lead lap. A host of caution flags early, but now this long green flag run shaking things up a little bit. I'm going to say win, because we will get another caution, I can guarantee it, just like I did last Wednesday night. We'll have another caution that'll bunch things back up, and then Cody, I believe, going to be a factor in this race. He's starting to get these trucks figured out. And we got somebody showing some of that thick black smoke once again here, Wes. I'm seeing it as we ride with Cody Brinson. So somebody's having a bit of an issue. Looks like they've gotten down on
I think that was Ellis. I think that was Phil Ellis, Ryan. He's pulled his machine, his 29 machine off onto pit road. He may have gotten to an incident earlier, so the 29 is down on pit road getting service to his machine. And Jennifer, if I may say, you better give us a follow with all the shout-outs we're giving you tonight, dang it. You and 417 Speedway, we better get a follow here. as we enjoy calling the action here, watching your son Cody, and man, this has been a lot of fun, Ryan.
Yeah, it has. And Wes, speaking of the action, we can go back to our second place battle. The 69 and 37 are getting back into the thick of things here. As Cody Brinson, I think right behind him, just made a move in the 98. That 98 truck, yes, we're riding with him. Whoa, big wiggle, but he's up to fourth. Cody Brinson rolling through the field right now here at the USA International Speedway. 30 laps to go. When we get that caution, that 98 is going to be the player, but Cameron Ray, Wes, he's got almost a 4.5 second lead. Dennis Dean running second, Michael Goddard third. Those two battling closely for position. The 98, though, he's going fishing because he's reeling them in.
Here's the dilemma, though. You see him sideways in the corner, actually opening up the door for the 02 here as they battle side by side off the corner. The advantage going to the 98 of Cody Brinson. Will he have the tires, though, Ryan? It doesn't, it wears on your tires a little bit more when you're having to battle from the back.
He's wrestling that race truck right now, Wes.
Another driver that's making his way up through the field is that 20 of Anthony Sergi. He's up to 8th and holding that pretty strong as he tries to run down Nick Neary. The caution is out. Ryan, caution is out.
I was right for the second week in a row. I guaranteed a caution, and there it is. We got another truck smoking. We'll see if that's the culprit. Wes, I wanted to comment. Another truck that was moving up was the 70 of Canova. I wanted to say Carvana. That is Dylan Canova in the 70. He had some trouble early, but he's raced his way up into contention. So we got about 6, 7, 8 trucks with a great shot at this thing. And we'll see, Wes, if anybody pits under this caution. And at this time, we'll throw it down to Paul in the truck to bring us a replay.
Yeah, something happened with the 5 there. I'm not sure if that's what we're looking at here, Paul. Did you find something else?
I did not. We'll see if we can take a look here at the 5. We'll just back it up live because that's what you can do here at Vidane TV. You can see he's already on pit road. The magic of the internet. We can just kind of backpedal here, and you can see, here we go. Already a lot of damage on that 5 truck, so I'm wondering if this is after the caution had come out, but you saw as we were rewinding, it goes to turn and just kind of overcorrects.
Do you think that looks kind of intentional?
Whoa! There goes the leader.
The leader.
The leader's gonna need a new pair of driver's suit. But yeah, I don't know. That's I don't want to. I don't know. I wasn't inside that truck, so let's go inside that truck. We'll back that up just a little bit. Take a look at the cockpit view. Not to tell on Jason Miller here if he's up to no good, but
some more Vidane
see what we got
TV
here. Yeah, you can see he's just kind of. I don't know about all that nonsense. I'll let you guys make the call.
That looked a little wacky to me. It's like he got, I don't know, it's like he got out of shape in 2 and then just kind of wiggled down the back straightaway for a bit.
Yeah, it's hard for the admins to call that as well as I was talking to the in-race admin. It's hard to say something's intentional and say, hey, we don't take that lightly. Let's just put it that way, but it's hard to prove it.
Now, I think, Wes, I saw some people hit pit road, and that might have mixed our field up a little bit because I'm seeing Colt Cecil, the 19, scored in 3rd. But we got the 01 up in front of the 9, so I think under that caution we did have some people pit, so that could throw this race into a bit of a loop.
Well, there were some guys that pitted, and there may be a couple of trucks that are taking a wave around. So I'm seeing right now, before the caution came out, we had 17 trucks still on the lead lap, which at 75 laps here at USA, that's a pretty good feat to have that many cars still running on the lead lap. Still 24 of the 25 starters are still in this race. The only driver that has retired so far is the number 3 of Chris Naramore Jr., but everybody else is a lap or 2 down. We may very well see this 01 drive around the field here and gather up at the tail end of the longest line once the lights go off on the pace truck. Yeah,
it looks like the scoring has reset here, and that is correct. The 01 going to be your wave around, and now Michael Goddard is scored in the 3rd spot. So looks like things have... The scoring has caught back up here, so that threw me off a little bit. But here we go. Let's reset the field as they double up here for a restart. Cameron Ray in the 9, your leader. Dennis Dean in 2nd of the 69. Then you have the 37 of Michael Goddard. In 4th is Cody Brinson. I think he's going to be one to watch here. And then our early race leader in the 0-2, that's Jay Zolziak. And then, of course, you have that 70 truck up there in the 6th spot of Dylan Canova. That is Nick Neary, Anthony Sergi. That's your top 8 here for the restart. Pace truck pulls off, and Cameron Ray bunches the field up with a little bit of a cat and mouse game on the restart, and he takes off down into turn number 1 with a race lead.
As he does, the battle for second heats on with Goddard and Dennis Dean. They are side by side coming off a 2 with a Cody Brinson watching behind them. Dennis Dean is not where you want to be. Starting on the outside is definitely a disadvantage here at USA International Speedway, as that opens up the door for Brinson. Dennis Dean, who ran second place most of that long stretch that we just saw there, is now under fire from that 98. And the caution is out. Caution is out. Big wreck in the back, including Big Lee Jr. in the 28.
Yep, cautions breed cautions. As there you see the 28, one of the trucks involved there. We'll get the replay fired up here in a moment for you, but boy, oh boy, tough restart there for the 69 truck. And looks like Bigley went around all by himself. What'd you see there, Paul?
AWS Roofing Instant Replay. One more again, taking a look at the number 28, Billy Bigley Jr. That is a fun name to say, Billy Bigley Jr. And I can see what Wes is talking about. You can see him heading into the turn here. Kind of gets on the apron, down in the apron just a little bit, throws the whole turn off. And as he comes out of turn number 4, just gets loose, loses the back end of that truck. Ooh, big hit, some sparks flying. Oh, nice save there by the 01. That Bass Pro Shop truck. Very, very cool to see him get through with that. But man, the 28, he's got that black smoke puffing out of the back of the truck. That truck is done. And you know what? As much as I hate to say it, it looks like I might have jinxed him, because I said, hey, you know what? There's still 24 guys still in this race. Well, now there's 23.
And we saw a bunch of cautions early, and then we had that nice long green flag run that we've wanted to see in Out West with less than 20 to go. It might be a caution fest from here on out, and that could make things interesting, because as we saw a little preview, if you restart on the outside lane, you're at a distinct disadvantage, and that could really mix things up. But right now, gosh, you got to watch that 98 Cody Brinson. He's in the catbird seat in 3rd right now. Do you think the 98 can wrestle his way up to the lead?
Yeah, possibly. As we saw that Cody Brinson knows how to race around here. Cody Brinson knows how to get around this track with a no problem. He has no problem using that bumper either, but we're hoping that he doesn't, so he doesn't get an end of longest line penalty if he does. If he does something that is to the point of taking out a driver and it's very blatant, he will be sent to the end of the longest line. So shout out to Jarrett Bolliard. Got to give him a shout out. He is adminning this race. For those that have never admined an online race or any race in that aspect, it is not easy putting up with this many personalities at once and then having to throw cautions, make these calls, getting yelled at. Lester throwing every single word he can find in his 7-page dictionary at you. It's not easy.
And hey, it's the internet, and everybody has a voice on the internet. So it's basically, when you hear admin, think of race control. Think of your local race control, your race director. That's what the admins are doing here, watching over this entire race, watching out for any infractions that go on to help keep this thing as tame as possible. They all get wild, don't get me wrong, but the admins, they're watching for anything crazy. They have the ability to park somebody if they're just somebody starts to turn around backwards and go nuts, they can drop kick their car or truck from the server. So the admins do a great job watching over so that we can bring you the best product. So we appreciate their hard work over on that side of things.
And I guess, Ryan, from what I'm gaining here from Jennifer Brinson and a couple others, is Colt Cecil will actually build you an iRacing rig. If you're watching this and you're interested in joining iRacing, you really don't need that intricate setup. But if you want to go all out, Colt Cecil will build you an iRacing rig. How cool is that? One of our local drivers will build you one.
You mean they don't just sit in front of their keyboard and press the right arrow to turn and the forward arrow to go forward?
Ryan, I drink natural ice for a living, and I don't even do that, all right? I even have my wheel. I have like including my VR, a $700 setup. This stuff isn't cheap, Ryan.
No, some of these guys' setups are immaculate. They use wheels and pedals and about as real as you can get. Speaking of real, it's about to get real at the front of the field. Here we go. Back to green flag racing here at the Bedan 100 here at USA International Speedway. And again, the jump goes to Cameron Ray. And now Cody Brinson battling for second on Michael Goddard. A little bit loose there. That 98 getting snappy loose as that wall grabs another truck. The 37 showing the sparks. Cameron Ray is gone. The battle on for second off turn number 4.
This time around, it's 15 to go. You know that give and take is over, Ryan. You're going to see more take and less give here on these final 15 laps as that battle for second still heats on here as the 98 of Cody Brinson. A little bit of a connection issue there on the backstretch, but he's able to get that figured out. He's side by side with Goddard on 4.
Yeah, if the 98 doesn't ghost himself, he's in position to take second spot away from Goddard. Brinson, 98, Goddard, 37, all chasing Cameron Ray, the owner of the Citrus County Speedway. And we'll see who's going to get this second position. And don't look now, but Canova has made his way up as the 69 has been drop kicked a couple of spots here, having to restart on that outside lane. Oh, we got one spinning off turn number 4. King in the 24 went around off turn number 4. We'll see if that draws the caution once again. It does. Cautioning out for the 24, Chase King.
Jason Lester involved as well. I would hate to be on the receiving side of that. Jason Lester may have helped the 24 get turned there. Jason Lester used to giving. Anyways, Jason Lester, though, they're in the 7 again.
Yeah, it looks like Lester poked him in the rear there.
Trying not to bring it up. I'm trying, Ryan. I'm trying not to bring it up. Anyways, Jason Lester doing what he can to work up through this field. Take this damn microphone, Ryan.
You guys up there getting all kinds of weird in the booth. We're going to take a look at an AWS roofing replay down here. We're going to look on board with Jason Lester. Jason Lester, easy enough for me to say here in the number 7. We'll take a quick look. And you can see just coming on down into the turn, 24 is just a little bit high and gives him a bump, and then just kind of a little bit of a lazy turn. Says kind of turn down for what? Lands in the grass. No big damage on Lester. Doesn't look like there's any damage on the 24 either. Well, there might be some damage now. He backs it into the outside wall. But maybe he's just trying to knock that spoiler down just a little bit on the back end of that race truck. But we'll see what we got. Less than 10 laps to go. Jason Lester running 19th.
All right, Jason Lester running 19th, sometimes 69, depending what track you're on. And Jason Lester now here down pit road, getting 4 fresh rubbers here at USA International. Jason Lester, usually the pun of many jokes, and but he knows how to get it done on the racetrack.
Well, he was the butt of that joke for sure. So Lester gets back out there. Oh boy. Okay, let's regroup here. Enough fun with Jason Lester.
Oh boy, I love doing this. And Ryan, I'm going to tell you this. You're going to have to talk to Rusty. You're going to have to talk to Andrew, somebody. When we go back green flag racing at New Smyrna, I need to be in that booth with you because, man, we're having a lot of fun here. I don't care what's going on for that weekend for me. I don't care if I'm getting married, whatever it may be. It can be delayed. I need to be in that booth with you to call some racing.
Well, you know, I'll let you know what's going on, buddy. Keep you in the loop. I'll keep everybody in the loop. God, I can't wait to get back to that racetrack. So, all right. So Jason Lester giving us something to talk about here as the caution comes out. Now we're going to have a restart inside of 10 to go. It's going to be close to around 6-7 laps when to restart. My bet is we're going to have another caution or two before it's all said and done. I think the cautions are a good thing for Cameron Ray. It seems like, unlike real motorsports, if you're the leader, you really, really can set the pace on the restart, where sometimes the other guys can get the best of you and maybe get in the back of you going to the corner. So I think it's good to be the leader. So I think the only thing that could hurt Cameron is a long green flag run. We're not going to see that here. So these guys are going to have to be aggressive on these restarts. Cameron Ray, the leader. Michael Goddard in second. Cody Brinson, keep an eye on him. He'll restart third again on that inside line. Also, Canova getting racy in the 70. But Wes, Cameron Ray, he took the lead around the halfway point, and he's never looked back.
This has to be the most fun that I've had calling a race in front of a computer in a long time, and I thank our viewers, I thank our followers, and our commenters that are laughing along with us with inside jokes. It's definitely appreciated. As Jason Lester got another end of longest line, he goes to the tail of the field as we are lining up one more time here, Ryan. We are on lap 93. They have 5 attempts at a green-white checkered if we need them. This time around will be 7 to go.
I have a feeling we're going to need them, Wes. All right. Take a deep breath. Let's settle down. Let's see if we can. I'd love to see him go green. Cameron Ray will be in control of the restart here as we come to the green flag. Flash bulbs going off in the stands. Those guys are not.
Oh, they're wrecking behind us!
Oh, boy. There it is.
He saved it.
Canova. Canova in the 70.
They're not done. They're all over the place. 3 wide, the 6, the 6, the 44, the 2. Big wreck on the backstretch going into 3. Half the field.
It's the big one.
It is the Talladega big one going into turn, coming out of 2, and it reached to the entrance of 3. Man, oh,
Canova.
man.
Canova, Wes, the Canova, he started 4th here on this restart, and he was involved. He's heavily smoking. A number of trucks involved. Paul is busy clicking away trying to get us a replay because that wreck started in 1 and ended in 3. So a lot to watch here in this one. Oh, yeah, the 70 got a bad restart, and it was a chain reaction from there.
Man, Paul, I feel sorry for you. Drinks on me.
That's good because this Miller Lite's a little bit on the empty side. But we'll take a look at we may as well just call it the AWS roofing blimp because they got our replays covered. Ah ha ha! How about that roofing humor? So we'll take a look at this restart here. You see the 9 doesn't quite go. The 98 gets in a little bit of a bump. Doesn't seem to affect anybody there. But the 70 backs up for some reason. 69 gets in the back of him. 70 gets into the 02 sends the 70 up into the wall. 44 gets loose for some reason. 32 gets into the 9. 32 goes up in the wall. 53 is loose. Then the 9 dumps to 44, and then there's a red truck involved, and Calamity 31 hits the 41, the 91, the 24. 70, that guy, the other guy, and then there's a white truck over there on the right. He's blowed up too. A lot of stuff going on right there.
He's blowed up.
He is blowed up. He's done. How'd we do, boys?
Paul, if you can rewind it on the 5, because he found the worst place on this track to hit the wall, and he hit it a ton. I believe that was the white 5 truck there.
It's the 5, Paul, between 4 and 6.
There we go.
That's a 6.
Sorry. Okay, the 6, Jimmy Frazier.
Where's the 5? I can't find the 5.
Let the replay play on this, because he found the worst place on this racetrack to hit.
Yeah, take a look on board. Oh, yeah, hits the 44, shoots him on down low, and bink. Oh, that's a big hit. And then he gets tagged as he's coming off the wall. Everybody blowing on by in the outside lane. And then he sees the yard sale up front. Looks like we're having a swap meet here in turn 2.
Got a bunch of trucks for sale, half price.
Yeah, give them to you cheap.
Ryan, I don't know about you, but this is some of the most fun I've had calling a race, and the fact that it is a fake race, man, it's fun. And Austin Griffiths, I shouldn't say fake race, I'm sorry, simulated. I'm sorry, the iRacing gods are going to slap me. But Austin Griffiths says, man, I hope he's okay. That was a hard hit. To steal a quote from the great Darrell Waltrip, I sure hope Dale's okay. He's all right, ain't he? Austin Griffiths also says, thank God for safer barriers. Yes, I'm glad you're playing along, brother. And our viewership is growing right now.
If there's not a safer barrier there, they need to go install one, because that looked like Jeff Gordon at Las Vegas.
We got 5 green-white checkers. This is the start of the green-white checkers. The lights are off. They take the white flag. The last flag will be the end, Ryan.
I have a feeling they won't make it back around. It's a big old racetrack, but we'll see what's going to happen. Cameron Ray, once again, he'll be in control of the restart. Michael Goddard in second. Cody Brinson third. Boy, we've had a lot of craziness these last 20 laps, and now we got to take a deep breath and see if we can make it here to the end. Pace truck is off. Cameron Ray, the 9. He's your leader. He's fired and he's away. Cody Brinson in the 98 going to try to make something happen. Let's see if we can make it. 2 laps to go.
side by side coming off of the turn for second place. Cody Brinson, does he have anything? Oh, Goddard just pinches him down. He pinches him straight onto that yellow line. White flag, last flag will be in the end. Another wrecking coming off of turn 4. Tyler Sontag and the 31 and Kyle Case involved. We stay green. The last one in. Big wreck at the end here, but coming across the line through 3 and 4. Cameron Ray, Ryan, call it.
Cameron Ray's going to win it. Cody Brinson from the back of the field in second. Dennis Dean going to survive for third. And then Anthony Sergi out of nowhere in the fourth. It got crazy there on the last lap. What a race, and they are pinballing into the wall in turn number 1 here at the end of this one. Crazy race, unless you're Cameron Ray. It was a nice Monday night drive for him. Cameron Ray, your race winner. Cody Brinson, a great drive from almost dead last up to second. And Jason Lester going to wreck Cameron Ray just for the hell of it here at the end.
Ryan, what a 100 laps. Cameron Ray bringing home the win, burning it down here at USA International Speedway as we see some other drivers deciding to burn it down as well. Man, oh man, what a race. I'm sports entertained.
How could you not be entertained after that? Look at this demolition derby here on the front straightaway with our top finishers.
You know what? As good as that race was, I think everybody in this field deserves to at least do one donut.
Paul, this is directly to Paul. This has to be one of the better races we've called since Vidane Racing has become a thing.
This is absolutely definitely going to be one for the record books and one for the highlight reel. I'm just looking, had a fantastic racing, fantastic qualifying races into the heats, to the consies. We didn't really get any of the time trials in, but the feature race was absolutely phenomenal. Very, very good, clean, hard, door-to-door racing. You're not going to find it anywhere else other than Vidane TV. And just looking at the viewership, we've had some phenomenal numbers all throughout the night. Thank you guys so much for watching on both Facebook and YouTube. And one thing I do want to suggest for everybody that watched on YouTube, and we definitely do appreciate it because it's big on social media. We're able to share with our friends and show everybody that we really do dig this sim racing thing. But be sure to take a look at the replay on YouTube. Go into your living room and on your smart TV or Fire Stick, whatever, anything that's got the YouTube app. Do a quick search for Vidane TV, pull up this race, and pull up the 1080p stream. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. As awesome as this action was, it looks even better in high definition on a big screen TV. So be sure to check that out for sure. And let your friends know you saw this Monday night, because we got 5 more weeks of this stuff coming up on Monday nights.
I think Les was going to say...
I am here. I accidentally left the room.
Les, you just run away.
All right, so I believe Cody Brinson finished second, didn't he?
That he did.
All right, Ryan is with Cody Brinson. Cody, you got a copy? Ryan is with you.
Yes, sir, I do.
Cody, what a race for you, man. You had to qualify out of one of the last chance races, just barely made it in, started way out back, got all the way up to second. What a drive for you tonight, man.
Yeah, to be honest with you guys, I thought there was 5 minutes of qualifying, and there was only 3, so I was going to go out the last minute, and I didn't even qualify.
That explains it. That we kind of expected you to be one of the strong contenders, and did you think if it hadn't been for that mistake, you would have been you obviously would have started in the top 10? You think that would have been the difference for you?
It could have, but who knows? I definitely had a lot more fun driving from the back to the front. So
I mean, you made it.
I wouldn't really change much.
It was fun to watch. I mean, you put on a heck of a show in the qualifying races, and then watching you come through 25 whatever trucks tonight up to second, and a wild finish for you too. What happened there on the last lap?
I talked to Michael about it. It's like I entered on the bottom, and he leaned on me like he should, because it's hard to get around the top. And as soon as we got hooked together, I was hard to the left on the brake, and it just wouldn't get off of him.
Yeah, well, hey, sometimes that happens. You're racing for position on the last lap, and man, it was fun to watch. Was it fun for you to be a part of tonight?
Yes, sir. I appreciate everybody putting this on, and I'm glad I came from the back. It was definitely a lot more fun that way.
Absolutely. And then next week we're going to New Smyrna, a little bit more tight quarters racetrack, so you might want to make sure you qualify for that one.
Yeah, we'll try our best.
All right, buddy. Who would you like to thank? Do you have any sponsors, any shout outs you want to give out here before we let you go?
Just everybody putting this on. It's a cool deal, and it's cool to see all our local guys coming out to support it.
Absolutely. Well, Cody, thank you so much. You put on a show tonight, second place. Great job.
Thank you, guys.
All right, there's Cody Brinson, our second place finisher. I think Wes might have caught up with somebody else.
Yeah, I'm struggling to get with other drivers right now that finished in that top three. I believe Dennis Dean does not have. He's having some Discord problems. So what we're going to talk to real quick, we're going to talk to Anthony Sergi. Anthony Sergi, do you have a copy with us?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Man, you had an eventful race, and somehow, Anthony, you were able to battle up for a. I believe you finished in the top 4. How'd you make that happen?
You know, I just rode there. It was all about tire conservation, and then we had that late caution and was able to get tires there, and then I just locked out on I'm sorry, I'm in TeamSpeak right now. People are yelling at me. I just looked out on some of those cautions there and was able to get the bottom on a lot of the restarts and was able to drive to the front.
Man, we made sure to keep an eye on you because we knew your spotter / crew chief was running up front. We were wondering if we were going to be able to see you two run side by side and battle it out, and didn't get to really see that happen. That was a storyline we were hoping to get to see, but didn't get a chance to do so. But we had that long green flag run in there. I think it was like 30 laps or so. Give us kind of an idea of what the tire fall off was during that run.
Well, the tires got really bad. Right front, we were using the right front tire really hard on these setups. So luckily, these cars they let you put rear brake into it. So I have a button on here that let me put more rear brake to it and kind of get it to cut the corner a little bit better. But mostly it was you could see some of the guys were saving and some of the guys were rushing to get to the front, and kind of just a tire conservation. And I kind of lucked out, was hoping for a late caution and was able to get that late caution. So I just got to thank everyone that helps me out. And I know tomorrow when I go to the shop and see Dennis, he's gonna be bragging about it.
Man, I'm sure he is. Any shout outs that you have for this, you know, the ones that make it happen on the real track and the ones that might help you on the sim?
Yeah, I just gotta thank my mom and dad. Wouldn't be able to do this if they didn't really help me out in everything that I do. And then I gotta thank Dennis for working on their real cars and keeping that all straight ahead. And then I also got to thank I gotta thank my mom and dad for. I already said my mom and dad, but yeah, I just gotta thank everyone.
They asked me to come back.
All right, Anthony. Well, congratulations on your top 5 finish, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you.
All right, Ryan. And really quickly, we're going to talk to Krista. Krista is a part of the Florida Pro Trucker Challenge Series as well as Sunshine State. Krista, you got a comment?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Sounds good. We can hear you loud and clear. Give us some background on the actual Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series for some of these fans and where they can possibly check them out once we go back to actual race.
Well, we are a traveling series. Donnie Burkhalter started this series actually we're going into our second year, and we hit the ground running with this series. We had a huge race last year on dirt. We plan on going back again this year to Volusia, but we go all around from, let's say we start at New Smyrna, we end at New Smyrna, we go to 417, we go to Citrus County. Congratulations to Cameron Ray on winning tonight. We also go to a couple other, Auburndale Speedway. So we are a traveling series. We had 76 trucks compete last year in this series and had 7 different winners.
All right, I think we lost Krista there. I think she might be driving, so we had to cut that one short. But you could hear there that this is a traveling series, as she said in slow motion for us. And these guys get around, so you can find them at New Smyrna Speedway, Five Flags Speedway, 417. Where else can you find these guys, Ryan?
Well, you can, of course, find them at New Smyrna, in Citrus, 417. And you know what, Wes? She mentioned Volusia. They did run a special, last year was a non-points race on dirt. This year, I believe it's part of their actual schedule. That was a blast. I got to go over there and call that race with Bob over at Volusia. I think we need to add a 7th race to the series and make the finale at Volusia on the dirt. That would be fun.
That would, and I think Krista has fixed her connection issues. Kristen, are you back here with us? Krista, are you back here with us?
Nope, she's gone again.
All right, she is gone again. So unfortunately, so what we're going to do real quick, we're going to talk to one more driver, and that is Phil Ellis. Phil Ellis was in this race. He did not have the best of luck. Phil, tell us how your night went tonight.
Man, it was crazy. This was a phenomenal race. Everybody from Florida gets together. We all smack talk during the week, but you know, it's great to get in here with your buddies. Jason Lester and I, we hate each other during the week, but we get on the racetrack and hang out and have a good time. I made it through the heat and just hung out, and man, it didn't go my way. I tried to play the take tires as late as possible deal and ran into the back of the 01. That was my fault. He got in the wall. I had nowhere to go, and I blew my motor and went a couple laps down, and I think I finished 18th out of it. But, man, you guys do an awesome job. I really appreciate everything you guys do.
And I believe we are calling a race for you in June, aren't you, Phil? Aren't we, Phil? If you want to talk about that a little.
Yeah, I believe it's June 7th. Down South Street Stocks will be ending our season at Martinsville Speedway. We'll have a night race there. You guys are going to call that for us. Really looking forward to it. We've had everywhere from 58 cars take a qualifying lap to, I think this week we had 27, 28, maybe a little more than 30. We send a couple cars home every week, and I mean, the racing's really good. I don't know what the best way to put it is. It's a crapshoot at the beginning. You know, it's a wreck fest, and then we get some long green flag runs, just like tonight we had wreck at the beginning. Then we went long green flag run, and at the end of the racing's phenomenal.
All right, man, we are looking forward to calling that action for you, man. And anybody you would like to thank while we got you in here?
I want to thank you guys, man. You guys do a great job. Everything you guys do, you guys are committed to everything we need, and these productions are great, man. I mean, everything you guys do for iRacing in general, appreciate it. Krista May and the whole Florida Pro Truck Series, Sunshine State Racing, Robert, Jen, you guys do a great job. Appreciate everything you guys do, and depending on my work schedule, I'm going to try to make these 6 races. We'll see what happens.
Man, that sounds good. Hopefully we can see you, Phil. Until then, good luck. And if we don't see you until then, we'll see you in June.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. And we're going to try one more time here, ladies and gentlemen. Crystal, you got us now?
I have you now.
All right. Hopefully got that Wi-Fi. So, all right, we heard that this series is a traveling series all throughout Florida. We got Jason Lester. What's some other names you can find in this Florida Pro Truck?
We've got a lot. We've got Becca Monopoly. She was our series champion last year. You actually had a lot of guys that were driving tonight that are in the series. You had Devin McLeod. Unfortunately, he didn't make the race. You had Jeffrey White. Actually, they put in the spot, and I can't really think of all of them off the top of my head, but there was quite a few that were on there tonight that actually did amazing. But huge shout out to Cameron Ray for winning that race.
Cameron Ray putting it down on them tonight, the owner of Citrus Speedway, and that was a lot of fun. Krista, we thank you for sharing our feeds and getting us some followers and getting the name out there and sponsoring this as well with Sunshine State Racing and the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series. Hopefully it's something that we can work out in the future. You guys can be a supporting sponsor of ATV, and maybe we can get some kind of side-by-side action with the Florida Sunshine State Racing and the Pro Truck Series. Get you guys as sponsors on board for long term.
Absolutely, and this was amazing. There were so many.
Were you entertained, Krista? Were you entertained?
Oh, I was, you know me. I was in front of the TV on mute going crazy, like always.
That was we talked about this earlier. That was some of the most fun we've called in a while. And of course, anytime I get to sit with Ryan Stevens in a booth, he and I are like peanut butter and jelly on a warm Sunday evening at a picnic. Ryan, I'm not trying to take you on a date, I promise. So, Krista, we thank you for joining. And anybody you would like to say hello to while we got you on?
No, I just appreciate my kids. We had 3 different phones going on. We're on Discord. We were, watching the race, sharing it everywhere on Facebook, watching the Facebook comments, watching the YouTube comments. I just want to say you guys did amazing on commentating it, and it was a great race. So thank you to all the drivers that participated, because originally when you and I talked about an hour before the start, we only had 25 drivers, and then everybody jumped on. So I was really glad to see that.
And make sure you tune in on Wednesday nights to share that as well as the new Smyrna series.
I'm always there. You know that.
Absolutely. You are a supporting sponsor of that series. You better be there.
I
All
am.
right, Krista. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you Wednesday night.
Sounds good. See you guys then. Thank you again.
All right, that was Krista May, one of the supporters of the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series in real life, as well as Sunshine State Racing. So, let's take a deep breath here, Ryan. I'm starting to lose my voice. I feel like I'm actually at New Smyrna.
It's funny. Krista's kind of like the race director for the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series. Maybe we got to get her on as admin so she can practice when they get back to racing again.
Yeah, that's just what they want, Ryan.
I'm sure. All involved, end of the line. That would be the call for all the wrecks.
You looked at me wrong. End of the line, guys. Jason Lesser would quit right at the beginning, I'm sure.
No. He might actually do better. But no, man, this was a lot of fun and great to see some fun names out here. You got Billy Bigley, Chris Nairmore. You got a lot of the drivers from the trucks. Nick Neary out there, Michael Goddard. We have so many great names over on the New Smyrna side of things with the eWorld Series events that we have going on Wednesday nights. And it's great to see so many great iRacers and New Smyrna people come together. And now it's great to see this truck series taking off with so many other great names from around Florida. So Florida racing going strong here, even in the midst of this pandemic. And it's so great to see a lot of these tracks opening up. And I can't wait to get things back to normal and put this all behind us. And I can't wait for Wednesday night. Super late models at New Smyrna coming up on Wednesday night. And then, of course, Verdane TV. If Paul has the schedule, he can put that up. And if not, you can check out Verdane TV's Facebook so you can see all the great events. But make sure you definitely tune in for Wednesday night, Monday night, so you can hear me and Wes have a lot of fun.
Ryan, I have to say, this has been a blast to call with you in the booth. I'm glad I'm not only having to get to call one race, but at least two races this week with you. I would love to have you in the booth a little bit more, but typically we have Kyle Young in the booth who has a lot of learning to do, and he's putting on one hell of a show as well in the booth here with you. But Ryan, as always, thank you. I mean, absolutely thank you for joining us. And man, I really hope I get to call the New Smyrna Speedway opener with you.
Yes, sir. We'll try to make that happen. And thank you guys for having me along. And another thing, it's great to hear that you have so many great announcers, because this is a great training tool for any would-be announcers, or a great way to kind of refresh your skills, if you will. When you're sitting around, you don't do this each and every week for the off season or whatever it may be. It's a great way to stay in shape, and it's a great learning tool. I'm not going to lie. I had zero real world announcing experience when I started, but I used to play the old NASCAR 2003 game, which was kind of the grandfather of this game, if you will. And I used to watch fake races and call them in my room when I was young. So that's kind of how I started announcing, if you will. So this is a great tool for that, great tool to learn to race, and great tool for even you producers out there who might want to get to the TV game. So, this iRacing thing has a lot of great resources for a lot of different things. So it's been a lot of fun. It's great to be a part of it.
It is. And Ryan, this is something that we started up. Paul and I started up. We said, you know what? We want to have some fun. and we got sick of just kind of sitting around. And we had a league that was a super speedway league, and after that was said and done with, we needed something to do. So we're like, you know what? Let's give this whole announcing thing, announcing and producing thing, a go, and I'm glad we did. So, Paul, give us a rundown of what's to expect throughout the rest of the week.
Total non-stop action. You see it right now on your
TNA!
screen. TNA. We're going to make an impact here in the sim racing world. See what I did there?
TNA Impact.
That was a good one.
Taking a look at the schedule here, Wes. You know what I see? Do you know what I see? I see consecutive dates. Every single night this week, we are racing live here on Vidane TV. Tonight was night number 3 in a 10-night-in-a-row stretch, and I could not be more pumped after this race. Lots of action, lots of really good, clean, hard racing, and we're not done. Well, we're done for tonight because I'm sleepy and I got to work tomorrow. But tomorrow night, great big show. Really looking forward to this. The Old Dominion Raceway reunion show. Going to be 200 laps at Richmond Motor Speedway. You do not want to miss that. We're going to do probably a 45-minute to an hour-long pre-race show. Going to be talking to the actual commentary guys that work at the that they used to call the races there at Old Dominion Speedway. Edwin Perdue, Dave Menifee, and Scotty Gore. They're going to be joining us in the booth and for the pre-race show tomorrow night. So do not miss that. And as you guys alluded to, Wednesday night we've got the New Smyrna World E-Series of Racing. Running the super late models at New Smyrna this week, so don't want to miss that. And then a same series on Thursday night, but a new sponsor, Shift Marketing and Designs, has sponsored the really long name they used to be, but now it's the Shift North Series, and I really do appreciate those guys, and I appreciate Shift Marketing and Designs for shortening up that series name, because it was a mouthful. Friday night, Tim's Corner Motorsports, we already told you, North Wilkesboro, we're going to be running there, and that's going to be a really cool little throwback deal as well. And then Saturday, we've got the Carter's iRacing Series, going to be doing a double header there on Saturday, and then Saturday night, 7 o'clock, Tim's Corner Motorsports special event. Going to be racing up there in Halifax, Nova Scotia, or however they talk up there. But man, great action here tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining us here in the booth. Ryan, thanks for coming out. Wes, you're always around. But seriously, thank you guys so much for coming out and watching here on YouTube and on Facebook.
Wait, Paul. Tomorrow night, or well, not tomorrow night, but the rest of the week. Am I allowed to drink during that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
When are we not allowed to drink? We're not allowed to drink?
Wait, Ryan, are you this always sober one in the booth these days?
I guess so. I didn't know we could have beer during this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's my show.
The more beer you have, it's the more fun it is to call these cautions.
Lots of jokes, lots of inside jokes with all these drivers and all that good stuff. And
yesterday, we watched a car flip over the fence at Stafford. You think I could call that sober?
Yeah, he did like a kickflip 9000 on the outside wall. It was pretty fantastic. But in any sense, you're only going to catch that action here on Vidane TV. So be sure to join us every single night of the week. We're going to be back here tomorrow night for the Old Dominion Raceway reunion. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, be sure to check out the replays on YouTube on a smart TV, 1080p. It does not get any better, and you don't even have to stand on a podium to watch it. You can sit there right there in your chair, and you can watch it and get a great view of all of the action that we call here live. But again, thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching us doing it live, and we're actually going to close out the show with a little bit of a special feature here. This is a video that a buddy of mine, John Adams, put together last night, released it to the world today. And I know Wes didn't like it last night, but I sure as heck got a kick out of it, and I think you will too. So thanks so much for coming out tonight. We will catch you tomorrow for the Old Dominion Speedway reunion show on Vidane TV.
You can drink my liquor, you can call my lady, you can take my money, you can smoke my blunt. Scuff these Jordans, you can say you hate me, you can call me crazy, but don't touch my truck. Don't touch my truck. Hey, y'all shut the gate. Don't touch my truck. Tell the boys come and get me. I be riding through the city. Young, rich, and I'm pretty. Homie, don't get it twisted. You can drink my liquor, you can call my lady, you can take my money, you can smoke my blunt. Scuff these Jordans, you can say you hate me, you can call me crazy, but Don't touch my truck.